It's Logitech. Oh. Did you remember last week? Hello, everyone. Do you remember last week? I hope you can all hear me, by the way. See me. You remember last week how, like, 5 minutes before the stream, for this very stream, my old C920 started bugging out. So I battled around, had to cancel the stream, and eventually reinstalled the software and got it to work. Well, everything's been fine all week until right before this stream, and I plugged the camera in, and it was glitching out again. I'm like, oh. So I've had to plug in the new C920, which doesn't work with the old software. So I've just spent the last 40 minutes trying different drivers and trying to install software for this camera, and it's yes, Chris, I will check out the Logic Capture. I looked at that and it didn't seem to be what I was looking for. I didn't download it. I just read the blurb and thought, well, it's not. I don't need filters and crap. I just need to be able to control the camera focus and exposure and stuff like that, and white balance, like the old one. But yeah, so so frustrating, so frustrating. So yeah, Logitech cameras, fantastic cameras, garbage software. I'm on G-Hub at the minute. Try that other stuff later on. I've got all the different softwares. I managed to get this one working on G-Hub, which is great, apart from there's no focus tool. You can change the exposure, the white balance, everything else, but not focus. It's like, I need a stiff drink and all I've got is water. There's nothing better and more fun when I sort out drivers and software to make a camera work when you're 5 minutes away from going live. It's always fun. Anyway, hello, welcome everyone to a last minute live stream. I forgot to open my window. Let me do that now, because it'll get warm in here with the lights on. 1 second. Really cold, but 1 moment. Welcome everyone. Remember we did this last week with the Dodge Charger, where I worked through 3 packs, or rather 2 packs, of the Dodge Charger build this week. Well, today we are working through my Fanhome Ironman Partwork. Kind of camera. So I'm working on the Fanhome 1/3 scale Ironman. I'm just got my mouth. Hang on. That. Yeah, stringy thing. Yeah. I've got sloughing. I never like sloughing. Too aggressive with the toothbrush. Never mind. Yeah, so we're working on the Fanhome Ironman 1/3 Ironman Mark III Armour Partwork. Hopefully it all looks and sounds okay for you. Please tell me if there's issues today. Do let me know if the screen goes fiddly or glitchy or anything like that. Now, I have to say, before we get going, a big thank you to the guys at Fanhome for providing me with this partwork. They are providing this to me gratis, free of charge, at no cost. In return, I do videos and streams and things of this, so big thank you to them. And of course, don't forget, this stream right now, while it's live, is Patreon and channel member exclusive. Only you guys get to watch this live. Yes, once it's finished, it will become a normal regular video, an archive of this stream, and it'll be available for everyone else to watch. But for the moment, while it's live and you've got the live chat, I've got the chat here over the side, it is exclusive to you guys. So please don't share the link for this video. It's hidden away. It's not available to anybody else. And we'll have a good time. For the benefit of people watching this after it's gone live, when it's an archive, if you'd like to be able to watch my Partwork build live streams like this and the Dodge Charger, and eventually the other one that'll be coming out maybe later on today, then you want to become a patron or a channel member. Patreon.com/modelguru. Yeah. Or you can press the join button under any of my videos and you can become a channel member. You get access to these kind of live streams, lots of other bits and bobs, and the live 24/7 Zoom hangout. So it's worth becoming a patron. You're a little quiet. I've got YouTube Max Volt and it's a bit soft. Blah, 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 blah. Let's have a look. Why is that not? Oh, there we go. Is that sounding any better? Might be a bit further away from the microphone. I've got a new microphone set up as well. So am I sounding and looking? I've tweaked it a bit. Is that looking and sounding better? Do let me know. Foxx is a little quiet. I've got this G-Hub rubbish and it's the microphone as well, and I don't know what it's doing. Turned it off now. Well, there's not much I can do now, unfortunately. I've got the microphone in the software, in my streaming software. La 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 la. Full whack. Filters on it. Blah 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 blah. It does seem a little quieter than normal, but there's nothing I can do about it now. It's too late now. We're loud. I've tweaked it a little bit. Do let me know if it sounds any better. Unless I've knocked my microphone. Hang on, I've turned the gain down. Let's have a look. I can't really see around the back. Well, it's about right. Ah well, you'll have to make do. Make do with it. There's always something going wrong. That's a bit louder. Whether it's better is open to debate, says Chris. There you go. It'll be fine. Just bump the gain in post. I can't do it in post. It's a stream. Oh! Need to ask Colin if I can get the mic. G-Hub kind of takes your microphone in, and I don't know if it's doing anything to the signal. I don't want it in G-Hub, but I can't figure out how to get it removed from G-Hub. So, brilliant. Right, so I've actually got that. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? At least we now know he has a shirt on. Yes. How quiet is quiet? Please listen to a different video on my channel and see if it's equally quiet. If it is, it's your own volume. Let's have a look. Right, so yes, we're going to carry on with this. Now, if you've been watching this, we are up to issue 63. We're on the right leg. We would have done this last week. A very nice t-shirt. There's Retro Rabbit. It's the Games Workshop. Got the thing. I had a weird issue where OBS was taking audio from my... Oh, hang on, there's an idea. Let me quickly check something. Shouldn't be a problem, but... Just double check. Oh, there we go. That should be better. God damn it. There we go. Right. Let me just make sure nothing's taking control. Enable audio enhancements. No. Don't need that rubbish. Right. There we go. That should have fixed. As usual. Windows being awesome. Thank you very much, Windows. Fascists. Right. Just put that back down again. 1.4. Right. So we should be back to normal now. There we go. There we go. OBS keeps resetting my defaults. Yeah, I had to go into Windows then very quickly and check the it dropped it down to 50% because I've been fiddling with G-Hub and it's reset it. Oh, too loud, says Chris at Gross Models. That's what I say to that. You've got me now. Turn your volume down. Right. It's been a terrible afternoon. It's just getting worse. Shall we start again? Tell you what, let's start again. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from Model Making Guru here, yada yada yada, sponsors, patrons, dibbity bomb, all the things, let's get cracking. There you go. Right, so yes, we're going to be doing Iron Man. We're up to issue 63. Woo! And as always, I'll give you a quick look at the magazines and then we'll do some building. Chris says I'll turn the TV down. There you go. Now, I've got a new setup today as well because... I'll move the microphone back again. Because, thanks to my good friend Fester over at Fester67's workshop, something in my mouth again. God damn it. Always when I'm wearing gloves. Yeah. Sometimes when you brush your teeth, if you go a bit heavy, you get what's called sloughing, which is where... It's kind of gross, but bits of dead skin from your inside of your mouth slough off and they... Get out my mouth. That was a pretty dry sounding noise. Hang on. There you go. Bit of water there for you. Should we just do some goddamn work? Right, yeah, so welcome everyone. As you're all patrons and members, this is of course advert free. You'll have seen no adverts, hopefully. And it's also not monetized, but it will be monetized when it becomes a recorded video. So, yes, I'm not going to do any swears. So, we're going to crack on. We've been building the right leg. We've got a few parts just over there you can see, ready to go. I've not seen what's happening in issue 63. Now, last time we did this, we got a thing about building the base, and I said I don't think I'm getting the base because I'm not a premium subscriber. I'm not any subscriber, but we do appear to have some base pieces coming up. So yeah, now I've got, of course, my own personal, I need to say microphone then, screwdriver. I also have a whole mess of Dodge Charger screwdrivers. I've got no idea where my actual Iron Man screwdriver is. That seems to have vanished. So we've got all these different sizes, but we'll probably just use mine. And I've got my gloves on because it's lots of shiny, shiny plastic and metal and I don't want to scratch it. Don't describe fluffing. I won't describe fluffing. Right, so, sorry about the audio. Right, so we crack on. So issue 63. Lots of history and lore as always. If you've not seen one of these before, they always start with some fluff and some lore, which I know nothing about. They have the building part, and then at the very end they have some more fluff and more lore. This is about the Guardians of the Galaxy in their various forms as they have appeared in different ways over the years. Yes. Anyway, let's get on with the building because we've only got maybe a couple of hours to go. So, let's see what we're doing. Anyway, I hope everyone is well. Don't forget, of course, if you're watching this, do come and join the live chat. If you're watching it embedded on Facebook or Twitter, I'll get the pack out. What pack are we on? Issue 63. Let me find issue 63. Oh, there it is. Oh, coughing. Yes, hope you're having a good weekend so far. Well, almost weekend. It's Friday. I keep thinking it's Saturday for some reason. I don't quite know why. I hope you're having a good Friday if you're joining us today. Where's that going to go? That's going to go. Let me secure a throwing things away box. Momentarily. Do. Yes, I hope you've got good plans for this weekend. Do not forget, of course, apart from this today, I will be joining Colin over at Festa 67's workshop for tonight's Friday frolic at midnight. Now we've got my camera sorted out. God damn it. Where we'll be continuing on with our Orc Stompers, painting our Orc Stompers. Oh yes, indeedy. That with the plan for tonight. And when this stream is finished, I will release the first in a new Partwork series. Which, if you're watching this as an archive, it's already out, probably. And it will be. I know what I do need. I've not got out. Where's me thing? I need me bits. Where's me bits? Oh, it's there. You idiot! I'm not with it today. It's this whole camera nonsense has thrown me completely. I was like, come on! I had this issue last week. You cannot wait a whole week and then work perfectly and then do it again on the next Iron Man one. I don't know. Right, burpage. Yes, so the new Partwork. If you're watching this not live, it'll have already been out. It will be the first episode in my D'Agostini Collectibles Ford GT40 build. Yes. Calf hinge. Right, so we need to get some things going. So we will need these two pieces. We will need a LP screw, or even an LP screw. Let me find where's my, I keep putting things down and moving them. LP screw, which is one of those. I'll get my little screws box open, just ready. LP screws made to make your things click together. LP screw. Just the one, Mrs. Wembley? Maybe the two. Oh no, two of them. Yeah, so it was a good guess then, wasn't it? Yes, I hope you're all well and happy and dandy. I'm disappeared under Fox here at the moment, aren't I? Let's move the camera around a bit. Wow. There we go, it's a bit better. I might need to tweak the focus. Let me just double check. Let's just tweak me focus a little bit. Focusing. This may go horribly wrong because it's silly camera controls. That is the focus. Ja, das ist richtig. There. This might suffice. That should hopefully be in focus for you. And hopefully now you should see some stuff. Right, so we need to get these two parts. You'll see like this, you'll see. Blade safety. And we are. The calf hinge is assembled. I've done one of these before, but it's been so long I've actually forgotten. I'll put my lenses on so I can see as well. Yeah, so I hope you're all well. Don't forget, of course, bench and belly. What's on your bench? What are you working on right now? And what's in your belly? What are you having or what have you had for your dinner? Right, so we need this piece here. They will join the calf plate to the lower leg assembly, allowing the flight stabilizer to be deployed. Join the two pieces of the calf hinge by matching the holes. Fix the parts together with an LP screw. So it needs to go together like that, you see. Like this, you see. So nice and simple. No oil required because it's a plastical screw going into plasticalness. It's not a plastic screw, it's a metal screw, but you know what I mean. Shut up. You know what I mean. That's going to be it is quite tricky doing this when you've got gloves on, but I need to make sure I'm not making a mess of the shut. Let's put it on here. Nope. Let's do it on this. Don't want to make a mess of the shiny plastic bits and the shiny metal bits, because that will be sadness. Right. Doesn't help that these two parts are really slippy and there's a raised bit. Also doesn't help. And apologies if my head appears on camera. Yes, so hopefully everybody is well. Hope you're all having a good day today. Bench and belly. A bench obviously for me is this. And then later on I'll be doing the Orc Stomper, as you will know. Me and Colin are painting our stompers. He is painting his, of course, as Evil Sons, which... No, not Evil... Yes, Evil Sons, which is all yellows. And I am doing mine as Death Skulls, which is all blues. Because I like Death Skulls. That's going to be my Orc clan now, Death Skulls. When I eventually get round to painting all my Orc stuff. I wasn't into Orcs, and then I got Colin into Orcs, and obviously by osmosis I got into Orcs. I kind of had no choice. Because I got Colin into it, so yeah. I shot myself in the foot there, in a good way. Belly for me tonight, I do not know. I am making Mama Fox a fish and a chip. But an actual, you know, making it myself, not actually going to the fish and chip shop, because she's supposed to be on a slightly more healthy diet now, so. Yes. What have I been up to this week? Not a lot, really, because we've had hospital visits and things like that from Mama Fox and other bits and bobs, so it's been a busy week this week, but not productive. The hinge is ready. Hinge. Check that it rotates easily and is not too tight. Well, it's maybe a little bit tight. Loosen it a little bit, maybe. If you find that you must use excessive force for the hinge to rotate, loosen each screw half a turn. Now, this needs to go on here like this, you see. Lovely shiny metal piece. I do like the paint finish on this. It's very nice, very, very nice. This needs to go this way, like that, you see. Sits on there like that. And I need 2 EM screws. So we can put this screw away, this LP. Have I got a slot for LP? Yes. Excellent. I should have checked that really before I ripped the top off it. Apologies for knocking the camera. 2 EM screws, and we have a slot for EM screws in my spare slot holdy thing. Let's get this bag open. I can get it open. It's quite hard to get these bags open with gloves on. I shouldn't really do this with a knife. I'll probably stab myself. Tell you what, let's not use a knife. Let's use some tweezelators. There we go. Yeah, I shall have a look at chat in a second. Now, Chris, I've got a question for you. Have you heard any more about your enterprise? If you're not aware, Chris over at Gross Models was building the Eagle Moss enormous, dirty, great big Enterprise D, which looked fantastic, even though it had all the wiring in the world and made me scared. But of course, Eagle Moss went into administration, so it's kind of been in limbo. So have you heard anything more about that, Chris? Have they decided, has it been abandoned? Have they taken it over with somebody else? What's happening with that? I've got oil on my gloves now. Duh. If they do actually go completely out of business and that's it, end of, I can't help thinking that somebody's going to buy all the stock off them and carry it on. Because they've put all the money into it and they've done all the research and they've probably got all the parts ready to be made and stuff. It's all been prototyped. I don't know how partworks work. I don't know if they do all the manufacturing up in advance or if they just do it in bits. So when it's halfway through, they've not actually made all of it. I don't know. But anyway, there's a whole Star Trek license there, because Eagle Moss did things like the Star Trek, the little die-cast vehicles, which I've never been interested in small die-cast collections, but they did all the stuff like that, so they seem to have the Star Trek Partwork license. So I would be surprised if somebody didn't approach Paramount, CBS, or whoever they are now, and apply for the license for Star Trek. The car protected with its hinge is now ready. It will be joined in future issues, so that concludes issue 63. Now, it may well be that we get through all of this quite quickly, because the thing with this Iron Man is, it's not like the Dodge where you've got big long things. It's actually quite quick, because it's little tiny bits in each issue, so we shall see how we get on. Issue 64. Right. Discover the history of Iron Man motorcycle armour. That sounds weird. Issue 64, Disassembled System Reboot. Again, I don't know the lore. Although I love the movies and the MCU, I've never been to the comics. So this is all new to me. So I'm actually going to go through and sit and read all this at some point. So we've got all the assembly parts. And then Rich Boy Tony Stark's Fortune. I love the way he goes from like 1970s square-jawed classic Marvel type bloke. All Marvel blokes look the same basically in the old days, to this, to slightly fat bloke. It looks more like Happy than Tony Stark. Yes. Basically none of them look like what's his face, the actor person chap. And there you go. Lots of interesting information that all means nothing to me. But yeah, I love the MCU, the movies. I'm so in love with them. But I even enjoyed Thor Love and Thunder, which a lot of people didn't. I did not enjoy the Eternals. That was so boring. They're going to make another one. It's like, really? Right, issue 64, which is this part. This is going to be another minimal work episode. This one, I think. Right, let's have a quick look at chat. Rabbit Studio says, someone gave my ex-wife and me a Golden Age stealth Iron Man bust when the eyes and arc reactor lit up as red as a wedding gift. It fell off a shelf and cracked. I sold it years ago. Lol. Bench is the ever-present Partworks. Belly tonight is a sausage, or was a sausage sandwich. Woo. I don't know what I'm going to have. If I'm doing Mama Fox some fish and a chip, I might do myself one of my, like, stick it in the microwave curries. It's like, it's not like curry and rice in a tray. Like, you get Weight Watchers crap. It's actually, here's a tray of curry, and you buy separately a tray of rice. And I can put, if I make Mama Fox the fish and the chip, I can put loads of chips in with it as well. It's a beef madras. Rabbit says, Bella, McDonald's, standard cheeseburger, fries, choco, triple thick milkshake, bench, Lego time machine DeLorean. Ooh. There are whispers about builds. Another company have bought up tooling and the customer database, says Chris at Gross Models. That's good. That's good. I mean, I hope somebody does. I hope that is the case, and that, because there's a lot of stuff there now. You may well say, well, why would somebody want to buy that partwork or all their partworks if they were doing it and they went out of business? Isn't that mean that nobody was interested? And it's like, well, no, it may just be that I've lost my box for bits already. What am I doing now? There we go. It may just be that there was lots of demand for them, all the ones they were doing, like the Ecto 1 and things like that. But it may just be that, despite lots of demand, they were just inept at running a business. It could be that. I mean, you know. Because a business goes out of business, if you know what I mean. It doesn't mean the products are bad. It just means, sometimes it does, but sometimes it just means they were rubbish at actually running a business. Keeping the business going. Oh, we've got stickers. Oh. We've got anti-friction stickers. We've got a very high friction thing. So I hope it does carry on, because it'd be a shame for us, I know, it'd be a shame for Chris, but for anybody who's starting that Enterprise or that Ecto 1, they're massive, and they're a big, these partworks are a big investment if you're paying for them. So I do hope they take it on. I love the look of that Enterprise. I wouldn't want to do it because it's all lighting and wiring, and that makes me scared. I can cope with the limited wiring and things like the Iron Man and the Dodge. Panzer Cat's in. Welcome, Panzer. Hello, hello. Hi, Fox Hugs, he says. Welcome to you. Hugs to you. Everyone's saying hello to Panzer. Right. So, in this issue, we have Side plates. I like a nice side plate. This bit, which is the hip joint cover, and this nice piece here. Right, so it says, I remember this was a bit of a pig to put on in the last leg. Right, it says, remove the protective paper, one side of the adhesive tab and 60 upper shin plate. Here, you see? So one of these adhesive, I think, do we have to use one and the other one's a spare? It's quite possible. I remember, Foxx, don't get it in the wrong place this time, not like the Dodge. Right, so I'll take one part off here. I kind of like double-sided sticky tape. I've gotten used to it doing all these parting works. So that goes like that, you see. Hope you can see all this. Ooh, nice and neat, Foxx. Good job. That's spot on, perfectly lined up there, I think you'll say. I think you'll agree. Remove the protective paper from the other side of the tab. Okay, we shall do that. I always wonder how the adhesive is strong enough to stick to the plastic, but not so strong that it doesn't stick to the paper. Very weird. Right, now it says in words, recover the assembly from issue 62, which is yon fella my lad leg. Place the upper shin plate on the front area. Open the side parts of the piece, the plate fits into position. 2 pegs fit into there. This is what I had trouble with last time, you see, it was a bit of a fiddly fit. So we need to get the leg back and not spill oil everywhere, Foxx. That'd be a good start. Put the oil over there. It puts the oil in the basket. Move scrapey sharp tools. So it needs to do what now? It needs to go somewhere. It needs to go. Where's this going? I'm confused now. It's okay. It needs to go. Brain. There's my knee piece. I like a nice knee piece. So it needs to. Oh, I see. It goes on here like this. Right. Got it. Understanding now, sir. So it goes on there like. Does it? Hang on. Image is not particularly helpful. What? Okay, right, I get it, I think. I don't got it. Okay, so that goes in there like that. This somehow slides in there without snapping. There we go. Oh, that makes sense. Stick that down, because that's where the sticky bit was. I had to think then, because I'm looking at the photographs in my brain. You know, like sometimes your brain can figure out 3-dimensional shapes, and sometimes your brain just goes, "Hi, die," and can't figure anything simple out. Yeah. Secure the upper shin plate. 2 EM screws, 1 on each side. We can do that, except we've got 1 EM screw. How does that work then? Because we've got more EM screws. Okay, but we'll put one of them over there. EM. Got one left over from the last issue, you see. I shall have a look again at chat in a second. Come out to you. You now do well. Get in over there. There we go. 2 EM screws. Now don't forget, of course, if you see me using my own screwdriver and this blue Dodo Juice dry hard towel and other bits and bobs like this thing and my screw tidy. All these things are available on my Amazon store. Link in the description below the video if you wish to purchase similar things. Either the same things or very similar things are available in my Amazon store. So go and check them out. I do like this screwdriver. It's got a spinny bit, you see. 2 EM screws, which need to go into the relevant orifice, which is that bottom one. I need to screw into the relevant bottom orifice. I'll just leave that one there for you. I'll take a bit of the oil off because it's a bit too much. Goes in there and misses. This is why I like this screwdriver, or any kind of screwdriver with this spinny thing, is when you're wearing gloves, using a non-spinny screwdriver is actually a bit fiddly, because the gloves tend to stick and get in the way. Get in the way! Oops. Open this thing a bit more. And the 3-in-1 oil, of course, that I'm using is just in my store as well. You don't have to do this oil thing on metal screws that go into metal, but I've seen some other people do it, and it can make it a little easier to get screws that are going into metal into the relevant places. Especially when you've got things like primer or paint in a thread, and it's a bit of a challenge. It just makes it a little easier to get the screw where it needs to be. There we go. Done and done. Yes. Yeah, starting to get very heavy, this thing now. EM screw can go in there. Oops. La la la. I hate to dare bring this up, but have you sorted that little problem, says Panzer Cat. Which problem? Which little problem? Huh? Which problem? I don't know which problem you mean. I'm in the middle of fixing and sorting my camera out properly, but yeah, it's as good as it is for the moment. If that's the problem you're talking about. If it's some other problem, I've forgotten all about it. Let's have a look. Rabbit says, I was on a waiting list for about 6 months, was able to get a back order placed, and that took another 30-ish days, he says to Chris. I assume you're talking about the... From like the Iron Man thing, or the Lego DeLorean. I see what you mean. Sorry, yes, the DeLorean, the Lego Time Machine DeLorean. Right, so what's next? Next, now it's some exceptionally intense work required. Now I've got to pay attention. Don't disturb me. Don't distract me, because I've got to get. If I get this wrong, the entire build is cancelled. Not really. See, that's not the right one. See, because I'm paying attention really hard. I'm hardly paying attention. Yes, I know. I get the jet. I hear what you're saying. That goes on there like that. I do like the way some of these bits just literally pop into place, and they're fairly sturdy and rigid. There. That stays on there like that. There you go. Now, when I did my other leg the first time, I was really stressed by this gap here. As you can see, there's a great big... Well, I hope you can see. Great big gap here, and I thought that can't be right. Something mustn't have fitted, and there's a big panel gap round here, and I thought I'd done it wrong, but no, that's spot on. It's supposed to look like that. There you go. So yes, and then it says place the left. Should have done that one. Place the hip joint cover somewhere safe. It'll be added to the model in a future issue. Okay, so we've got that one, which I assume we've got another one. I assume I've got another one somewhere in the other leg. So. All those bits over there can stay over there. And that concludes issue 64. Okay, let's move on to issue 65. Cashier number 65, please. I suspect this will be a minimal progress issue. Let's find out. Discover this divine man, nanobot armour. Bob from the Skeptic Sky would love that nanotechnology. Lots of things, and then the building parts, and at the back we are looking at the Defender, Daredevil and Iron Man. Ah, jolly good. Yes, I don't know why, when I was growing up I didn't like the Marvel art style, so I found it annoying. And I wasn't really into superheroes and magical capes and things like that. If I mention it, it might happen, so I don't dare mention balking. If you mean the camera going funky, it's a different camera and different software. So, yes, it's my spare camera. The more modern one that uses the more modern software that's not quite as good so far. Right, central leg support. Now, this is the bit if you're making a Gundam, you're making the crotch area. Right, so we need the parts for 65. Issue 65, please. Now I could take my gloves off when I'm doing these bits because they're not metal or shiny or anything, but you take your gloves off, then your hands are all sticky then, and then you can't put them on. I'll just keep my gloves on. That face looks terrible. That face looks like, I don't know, it just looks like some kind of like jock, some sports playing jock. I don't like that armour. That's lazy artwork, that is. Lazy artistry. La 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 la. Yes, this camera can't go ping, thankfully. It's fairly reliable. This is a new one, so a newer one. Bizarrely, the problem I was having with that other camera, which is where it was going glitchy and flickery, I noticed it seems to be exacerbated with gain and exposure settings. If you put them low enough, it wasn't glitching as much. So I don't really know what it was. I really haven't got a clue. It's also just very old. Right, so place the spring onto its holder, fitting it over the peg. Here is the holder. Here is the spring. Oh, don't drop it. There. Construction complete. That's the Iron Man finished. Look. Behold the Iron Man Mark III armour. Place both pieces inside the central leg support 65B, which is... Looks like a Space 1999 Plus, doesn't it? I can't remember what noise they made. Probably a terrible noise. So it goes like... It's one of these turn it upside down without it all falling apart jobs. Okay. Goes in like that. Somehow. Somewhere. Ah, like that, you see, maybe? Yes. Perhaps. That seems to be the way forward, but it's a bit shonky fitting. It's not very straight. No, well, we'll figure out what it does. Now, place 65A on top of 65B, being careful not to disturb the spring assembly. Fix the parts together with 3 LP screws as shown. Right. So I'll just get 3 LP screws out because this is going to go ping, I can see it. How's video coming out, guys, and audio? Is it looking alright? We still look at... I keep... Every now and then I look back every now and then at the screen and it seems to be a bit framey. Let me know if that's the case. Not much I can do about it. If it is, but just let me know. Right, so we'll get an LP screw ready on the driver. Gently, gently. So this needs to go on top of here without dislodging this shenanigans in the middle. Somehow. This all needs to come together. Oh! There goes the spring. Hey! It did what it's meant to do. It springed. Springed. Right. You're going to challenge me now, aren't you? You're going to be a challenging challenge. Not for long, you're not. This is going to be a pain in the arse, isn't it? There's a peg on there, but there's nothing for it to locate into. It's weird. Oh yes, there is. There it is. I had upside down your spoon. No, there isn't. There isn't actually a hole for that. Oh yes, there is. There it is. Right, see if we can get that in. Will it work? Will it not? It will not. Get in the hole. I'm going to do it that way, so if it pings out, it doesn't go halfway across my room. And it's trying to line up the peg on that part without being able to actually see it. That is the tricky bit. Oh! Yes. There may be swearing ahead. I can see this being an interesting challenge. This may be where Chris is like, haha, I did this bit and it's a nightmare. Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure it is. It certainly is anyway. That bit on. There we go. There we go. There we don't. There we do. Yes, huge success, vast success. A vast success was had with this strange little piece there. That's actually quite a powerful spring, that. So you want 3 LP screws in the positions shown, which is here, here, and here. See? Like that, you see? Excellent. Let us now do this thing with 3 LP screws. 1 screw. No oil on these because they're plastic screws, they're P screws. Going into P. Whenever you put a screw into P, you don't want to use oil. And the next P screw. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Yes, we had the issue with that camera was a hardware issue because my other one did that. I threw it away, unfortunately. And I reinstalled the drivers last week, the old drivers for the old C920, and it worked perfectly after that. But then it started doing it again today, so it's very weird. So I've now got my newer C920, which unfortunately seems to default to the newer software. It defaults to Windows drivers and stuff, even though you put like the software in, and it's... So Chris suggested the capture software. I'll give that a go. That's really loose screw. It's one of those special never stop spinning screws. Excellent. Right, so that's those 3 in. That's the twidgy bit there. So you've got this little bit that's got quite a powerful spring on that, actually. We don't yet put a screw in there. Yeah, it's quite a good grip on that. That was an LP screw. Do we have a hole for LPs? Yes, we do. There we go. I was just waiting for that spring to go, says Panzer. Chris is off. He says, have fun all. Take care, Chris. Thank you for coming in, my friend. It's dino time. He's going to go and play Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, or whatever Evolved or something. This will connect the legs and waist in future. I'm going to build a big pile of bits here, aren't I? That concludes issue 65. 65. Wow. They draw this really cool looking monster, right? But unfortunately they give it like gopher teeth rather than dragon teeth. It's an alien dragon, but it's got like gopher herbivore teeth. And instead of making a big roar sound, it goes hwar. 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 Oh, a great big dragon, I be. I be a great big dragon with plant eater teeth. And I'm not that scary, right? Hwar. Hwar. I say hwar. I'll stop now. It wasn't that funny. I hate to... Oh, done that one. AV, find my answers, Panzer Cat. Cool. Awesome. Right. Yeah, here's now Chad. Football dude. It's like an angry Odo. So this is issue 60. How many different suits has he had for Iron Man armour? Lots of blurb. Now we're going to be building the central leg support. Support your central leg. It's always a good idea. I'll just stop now with that. I'll just stop straight away. Scarlet Witch confronts Virgil. I'm sorry, but is that like a Rob Liefeld? Because that's just a... What? Whoever drew that has clearly never ever seen an actual woman in real life. Because it's just pathetic. It's like your waist's about an inch. What? I'm gonna. It's just. Let me. I'm gonna have to. If it's not a Rob Liefeld, then somebody is seriously working on their Rob Liefeld style lack of any artistic talent. Because what is that? I mean, the chest is facing this way, her waist is facing that way. It's like that wide, and then this here with the, it's pathetic. It's just pathetic. I tell you, it's pathetic. Right, let me make sure I get back in focus. In fact, what I'll do is I will have this on permanently so I can see bigly. That's just rubbish. I mean, sometimes people don't even make an effort, these artists. And they get paid for this. They get paid for that. It's like, really? Makes me angry. angry that people got paid for such nonsense. Right, so let us do the assemblage. So we have issue 66. Activate issue 66. Build them all. Build them all. I was trying to do an Emperor voice there, it didn't work. It's hard to do an Emperor voice when you don't smoke anymore. Yeah. Real women have curves. That one has few too many. There's someone failed anatomy class. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's either Rob Liefeld, who, let's be honest, is such a contradiction because he's exceptionally rich and he created Deadpool, yet he has no artistic talent at all in terms of how to draw people. So you've got to appreciate the fact he made it with no talent. But there you go. Everything's pouches, all the pouches. But yes, a little tiny spring there that I didn't even notice. Good job it didn't disappear, wasn't it? Now, 4 BP there, little tiny spring. We've got more spring things. So, carefulness. Carefulness now when shoes. Place the spring inside the shell, pushing it onto the central peg. That's the central peg. Really? It's hardly significant. Burpage. Oh, see, already with the failing. Let's try the tweezings. You could make the central peg a bit, well, you know, more peggy and bigger. Put the support for the spring onto that. Secure the support with 2 BP screws. I'll get the screws ready. Probably the best that if I do that, isn't it? Have we got a slot for BP screws? Yes, I can cut the top off that. If I haven't got a little niche in my screw tidy box, then I don't cut the top off the bag because I need to know which I need to store them, but it takes me forever to get the screws out. Right, so that's BP screws. So we want, get off. So this needs to go over the top and then 2 BP screws to hold it in place. We'll get a screw ready. Oops. Lens is on, dear boy. Lens is on for the crowd. Now we need to get this on here somehow. Miraculously. I can see this is going to be the moment where Chris had probably wished he hadn't gone off. Oh, that worked. Is that the right way around, though? No. It worked, but I got it the wrong way around. God damn it. Chances of doing that again? Minimal. Let us try. Okay, that went better than I thought. BP screws, are they ready? Gentlemen, line up your holes. It's the tricky thing when you're doing these things where you've got to line up a hole with a plastic screw. It's very easy to not have it lined up and then just gouge the screw into the side of the tube it's going into, or wherever it needs to go into, and that's where you cause damage. So you've got to be careful with screwing into plastic. You can't go too heavy because you'll stress and break the plastic, but also you've got to take your time and make sure everything's lined up correctly. So there's a spring in there now that I assume is purely to keep this bit from bending out of shape. That makes sense. So I can afford to go a little tighter. There we go. The shell will be fitted onto the waist using flexible attachment to keep pieces 66D and E safe for future use. Oh God, more little bits. I'm going to have a massive pile of stuff here, aren't I? Right, so that's that bit. This is going to get... I'm going to have... Why do I get the impression that I have piles of stuff all over this bench? Yes, I can see it coming. But you see what I mean about each issue being a bit of a small build project. What were these? BP. Right, so we're on to the next box now. That's pack number 1. Central peggage. Are you sure you want to go there, Fox? I always want to go where there's central peggage. It's the best kind of peggage. Now, the next pack we get issues 67, 8, 9 and 70. But we also get another freebie. It's freebie time. And it's a big freebie. I'll get all my bits out. And then I'll show you. So there's a big boy in this lot, and there's also a freebie. So I'll just put some of my rubbish in this little box because it's bigger. There we go. You don't realise how much mess this generates when I do these streams, you know. When there's a backlog of them. Right, so with this one, before we go into all the bits, we get a freebie. We've had a hat, we've had other things. This time, we're getting, and I can't really show on camera, we're getting a backpack. A very nice backpack. Now, I've actually got a Fast and Furious backpack as well. I've got loads of these now. Oh, it smells like... Have a smell of that. Have a smell of that. It smells like... I can't quite explain it. It's got an unusual smell that reminds me of something, but I'm not sure what. So you've got this nice big backpack. You've got these bottle holding sort of nets on the side that you can't see. Bit of fishnet action. You've got a front pouch. Front pouch in there, see? Yeah. I know you can't see this. And you've got the back pouch as well. Cool. With a foldy flap thing in the back. So you've got a flap. You can't see any of this, can you? There's a flap in there. It's all black. You've got a flap in here for like your small things. A big pouch and a big front pouch. That's pretty good, that. I like that. That'll come in handy. So there you go. Of course, with any part work, you tend to get like subscriber gifts. Now, with most part works, you tend to get like X number of things as you go along. And then if you do like a premium subscription, you might get some more bits and bobs. But I can't remember with this one what you get, what the premium subscription gift is, so I can't actually remember on this at all. So apologies. Some part works you just get all the same gifts whether you're a subscriber or not, but you have to be a subscriber. If you just go into your local corner shop and buying it every time it comes out, or you've subscribed through them, you may not get the gifts. Right, so let's have a look. We have issue 67 is the next one. Issue 67. Doctor Doom. Legacy, real-world politics. By the year 2010, the movie version of the Iron Man had consolidated the character's popularity. Having become an icon of popular culture, it was time to launch a new title, Iron Man Legacy. And then you have to read all the words. Drawings and words. Radioactive Man. Wow. So what's your magic power then? Right, so we're going to be building more crotch area. More awful 1970s artwork. I mean, you know, at the time it probably wasn't, but you look at it now and you think, wow, it's, yeah. And lots of things. Right, anyway, let's move on. Let's go on with the building. Let's get on with the building. If you want to read the magazine, you have to do the subscription. Now, don't forget, of course, if you want to subscribe to this part work yourself, and it is really good, I do recommend it. You can have a nice, like, 2.5 foot tall dude at the end of it. There is a link in the description below the video. And I think the code to use is Tony Stark, I think, with that. And something happens if you do that. I can't remember what. Issue 67, let's have a look. That's issue 69. That's a dirty great big one. Issue 67, there we go. There's a dirty great big pack in this issue, I'll start again. There's a dirty great big piece in one of the packs in this issue, in this pack. Oh, I'll give up, Fox, I can't get the words out. There's a dirty great big part in one of the issues in this pack. There we go. Issue 67. That's the one. So not many parts in this one. A whole mess of screws, but like 4 bits. Not schnorr bits, 4 bits. Right. Let us put that there. Get these parts out. Make sure there's nothing left in the clear bit. Not schnorr bits, clear bits. Right, so. It says, take rotational base 2 from the last issue. Rotate. Oh, start again. Prepare the right pelvis. Prepare the right pelvis armour and its corresponding support. Both pieces are marked with an R. That's got a L on it. That's marked with the R. That's marked with a R. Just about. That's marked with a L, so that's that one. Both pieces, the tighter curved end fits onto 67C. The tighter curved end, which I assume is that one. So that goes in there like that. Okay, fix it with an OP screw. This screw is OP, man. Right, do we have a slot for OP screws? Nope, so I need to keep this bag, which means I've got to open it like a chud. Oh well. Opening these bags when you've got gloves on is an absolute pain in the bum. It's a nightmare. You can't grip anything. Yeah. Normally I'd just slice it open, but I need to keep the bag. Right, so there we go. OP screws. With an OP screw. Okay, well, I'm going to need 2 of those, aren't we? So I'll get 2 out to start with. I shall give my nose a quick squiggle because I've got the runny nose again. Don't forget, folks, bench and belly. If any of you haven't answered already, bench and belly. What's on your bench? What are you eating for dinner tonight? Paul Lewis is in. Hi, Paul. Welcome, welcome. He says, evening, Fox and everyone in chat. What the hell is everyone chat? Memo to self, learn to type and read. You should see the conversations I was having with Fester on Messenger chat last night. Every other word was completely poorly spelled because I was typing quickly in a hurry. It was pathetic. It was so embarrassing. With an OP screw which goes in from that side. So let's get an overpowered screw. It goes in from this side here. It's tricky now because I've got to get the screw in there and get these lined up somehow. So let's just hope we get it good. Get it good? That's not even English, Fox. Oh, that's not going to happen. See if we can try that again. Maybe a bit better. Nope. I do have to apologise for my tickly cough, by the way. I know it's annoying, but it's my meds that I'm on at the minute which I actually haven't taken today. I must take them in a minute. Oh, that's a good point. I won't take my pills today. I'll do that in a minute. I get so carried away, like doing all my bits and bobs, that I forget to take my pills, and it's terrible. Okay, this is going to be annoying now, isn't it? This is going to be in no way charming, and in every way absolutely frustrating. Right, you stay there, don't move. Wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't a 3.5 foot long screw. Come on, in you go. Oh! How very annoying. I've got to try and find a way to get my hand so I can hold the thing lined up. And then I've got to somehow get the screw on the screwdriver with one hand. Let's just try it with just holding. It's actually quite tricky. I've got to basically get these 2 holes lined up. And there's nothing to rest it on. Huh? Might be on a winner. Yes. 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 Huge success. Die großen success. Now, it would have been just my luck that I actually had this piece the wrong way around, but never mind. We'll get this screw going through. Make sure it's coming out the other side. La 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 la. Anybody else out there doing partworks at the moment? What partworks are you doing? What partworks are you playing with it right now? I never had any interest in partworks till I started doing these. I started with the X-Wing and stuff. And it really has sold me on the idea of them. I mean, yeah, of course I've not been paying for these, but still, notwithstanding, it has. That's very tight. Does it need to be that tight? I don't know. Loosen it a little bit. Take rotational base 2, which says R on it. These are the two little bits from the last issue. And I want one with an R on it. Better take my pills in a minute, hadn't I? Fix with an OP screw as shown. Okay, so that goes... How? Goes like that. That goes in here like that. So we've got the same thing again, but this is a bit easier to hold, I think, this one. So we'll make sure we've got an OP screw lined up. Ready to go. Oh, 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 no, no, no. Oh. Curses. Curses to you. Curses on you and your house. Oh, that's the wrong way. So I need to make sure it's the right way for a start. So it's that way. And then here. Is that right? I've got this right way around. Yeah, this is that way. So it's this way around. Fiddliness. Blackbird outside muttering away to itself. Not doing the singing blackbird sounds, but the muttering blackbird sounds. That's in. I'm in. Please be the right way around. Because if it's not, or if I've got this wrong, it's basically just gouging its way through plastic, gouging its way through plastic even, in a destructive manner. And you don't get replacement parts in these partworks unless you ask for them. You can ask for them. I mean, you don't get spares. If you break something, you just have to wait for them to send you a new one. Yes. Yes, yes. I'm just watching for it coming out the other side. Then I can line it up. It's difficult to line two holes up with a screw going through when you've got both pieces moving independently of each other. It can get quite tricky. So that's on there. Please, dog, it's the right way around. Well, I get the impression this hip arrangement is going to be quite tricky to build. I don't know. I'm just getting this horrible feeling. I'm walking into something and I don't know it yet. So we've got this piece here with this arrangement, which looks like it's the right way around, as far as I can tell. And then this needs to go on here with two PP screws. Moving on. Moving on. Where's the PP screws? There we go. Have we got PP screws in my tray? No, so I'll need to keep these bags as well. Gosh darn it. I could just make new little sections, but no. That's far too obvious and easy. There we go. Two PPs. Two Police Plaza. If you're a colonial cousin. So this needs to go in here like this. There we go. That's fairly straightforward, I think. He says, tempting fate. Tempting the wrath of the whatever from higher top the thing. Mental note, Foxx. Always have the screw ready first. Do that bit first. Then do the fiddliness. How is everyone anyway? Hope you're all well. Yeah, if you're doing your partworks, let me know what partworks you're doing. If you're lucky enough to be doing one. We know Chris is doing hundreds of them, so but he's not here now. Shaky hands today because I've not had a coffee. I'll get this piece on, then I'll take my pills. God, I need to do that. I forgot to do that. That's that on there. Lovely jubbly. So now we have this bit here, oh, I see, which kind of kind of what? Is that supposed to go? Ah, I see. Take it off again, aren't I? Yeah. I think it's supposed to go outside. Yes. Yes, yes. I don't want to bend anything too much, so we'll take that off and put it back on again. Okay, so... Oh, there you go. That piece of armour is supposed to go outside. Oh. Well, that's why we get spare screws. Yes. Thank goodness for spare screws. The screw just pinged off. I'll find it with my foot at some point. Guaranteed. I've probably got a spare screw of that size from something else anyway if I needed it. Thank the maker for sending us spare screws. Always a winner, never a chore. And there's a spare one there anyway. Right, so that needs to go, this armour needs to go outside that. So this goes on here like this. That makes sense. I didn't read that far ahead, you see. So this goes on like this. I've made the same mistake again, not getting the screw ready. But it's a fairly easy line-up job. There we go. Oh, looks a mossy. Ah. Fudge. Right. I'm not used to like reading 3 steps ahead, you see. I used to read the step. I'm used to reading the step, doing what it says, and then move on to the next step. I'm not used to reading 3 other steps at the same time. Let's try that again, shall we? Right, you go down there. You go in there. Like there, Josie. There we go. I'm assuming this is the right way. It seems to suggest that on the diagram. Meh. I could be wrong. I mean, this could be a horrendously wrong thing later on. Pelvis. I don't like the word pelvis. It's not a good word. So that's it. It's on the outside like that, you see. So it can do that now. I had it inside and it wasn't going nowhere. So there we go. That's that on. So we're going to have a repeat of this on the other side now. I suspect. Oh, yes. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and quickly take my medications because I completely forgot this morning. So give me 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. Fox, first it was pegging, now it's... I didn't say golden showers. Wait, what? Let's have a look. Belly was seedy toast with mackerel. Oh, Panzer Cat says. Bench is a set of T80 tank tracks. Burpage. Paul Lewis, belly lasagna in about an hour. Bench 124th Fujimi BMW M635 CSI. Beverage, beer is in the fridge. Fridge in the kitchen. I am not in the kitchen. Problem. Indeed. Problem in need of a solution. Paul Lewis says, I resemble that Bork comment. Currently up to part 66 on my R2D2 partwork build, says Paul. Oh, yeah, Chris has done 2 of those. He's in the middle of doing a second one now. For a second there, I thought Fox was going to go full Wibble mode. No. You always get spare screws. Right, I'm going to go and take my hardcore drugs. I shall be back in but a moment. Come back in a minute. 1, 2, 3, back in the room. There we go. Sorry about that. I just completely realised I hadn't taken my medication. I'm like, I'm old now. I have to do things like that. I mean, not forget. I mean, take medications. So I've got the runny nose again. What was I going to have a wibble about, though? The screw? No. If worst came to the worst, I'd dive through my other Partworks screw box. I probably have a screw somewhere that was about the right size. Probably. Right, so I'm going to have 2 OP screws. Overpowered screws! It's an old joke. I'll keep making it until somebody laughs. Laugh, you buggers. So like that. That can go in my little pack of area of screws. Have I got? Hang on. What have I got? There's an empty bag. NP. MP. Okay. Yep. Spare bag there. OP. And we've got 2 PP screws. Put them there. There we go. PIA screws. Well, yeah, we'll use both of those. Right, so, same again. We have this part here and this part here. So we need to take the bigly curvedy bit. There's a magpie out there shouting now. Probably a cat running around. And the screw needs to go in from this side. So we'll get the OP screw ready. I'll do it with my hand actually rather than the screwdriver because it's only going to end in tragedy if I don't. Is everything in focus, by the way, folks? I hope focus is alright and we're all lined up correctly. Do tell me. It's that one I want, isn't it? Oh, dropping. All of the dropping. Almost in, but I was going to move the moment I put the screw in. Yes, thought so. Oh no. Yes, I thought so. Oh. Get in the hole. Got to be an easy way of doing this. No. Get in the hole. I might be in. I might not. Entirely possible I'm not. I think I am. Huge success. Huge success, I think. Of course, if it starts poking out the side of the plastic part, I've probably gone wrong. Yay! This one there. Get that in. Make sure I'm not poking through the other end yet. You've got to be so careful with plastic parts on these. Because like I say, if anything breaks, you can get replacements. They'll they'll send you replacements, or if you need to, you can go on eBay and buy the issue again. But buying the issue on eBay is not cheap. I had to do that on the Dodge, because there was... on my Dodge Charger, I think one of the steering wheel... The steering wheel I got with my first Dodge Charger... Well, my Dodge Charger... was mismanufactured. It was the wrong shape. Which is really weird. Like it was a die-cast metal part, and the steering column wasn't long enough. There was supposed to be a bit where the steering column cuts in, and it was too long, I think, or too short, one of the two. But it's like, well, hang on, it's a die-cast part. You can't accidentally die-cast it with the thing in the wrong place, because that would require a completely different mould, or die even. So I don't even know how you do that. Loosen that screw a little bit. I think it's quite happily meant to be that flappy. I don't know. I could tighten it a little bit, I suppose, couldn't I? Except I can't get the screw in there now. Oh well. It'll be fine. Put this one a little bit tighter then. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know how this... So I bought one off eBay and it was the right one. It's like, imagine this was manufactured, but let's say this hole was there. You'd be like, well, how do you mismanufacture when it's no idea. It was fine. Right, and we need to now put this piece on here, so it's going to be this way. with a little tiny squiggly screw. No, an OP screw even. Yeah, sorry, wrong one. Spindleberry. Spindleberry? That's not even a word for it. I just make some words up sometimes and it goes wrong. So that needs to go there. Like that. This one, for some reason, looks like it might be a little easier to line up. I say that. Again, I'm still trying to line up a screw in a 3.5 foot long screw, so not necessarily so, Fox. There we go. Take it slowly. I never mentioned golden showers. What? I have no idea where that came from. I don't even know what that means. He says. Hoping everybody believes that. We lined up. Almost. There we go. Now we're lined up. There we go. Lovely. A little bit easier when you're on your second time around and you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing, like I really do. So that sits over there like that. Like that, even. Reminds me of something, but I can't think what. That needs to go on. I could just look at the instructions as well. That's also a good way of doing it. That needs to go in there, so we'll get the screw ready. Trying to be careful not to scratch anything, of course, as well, whilst getting all the bits lined up. I hope this is all on camera for you. La 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 la. Now, don't forget, folks, I am desperate for things to talk about. So if you're watching this and you're in chat, well, if you're not in chat, please come and join the live chat. But if you're watching this, you're in the chat, please give me stuff to talk about. Don't forget, if you want to catch my attention, because chat is over there, and I've got me magnifying lenses on, so it's hard for me to see anything, please put @ModelMakingGuru at the start of your sentence, so I'll have a chance to see that there's something there for my attention. Now, like I said at the start, this is a stream for patrons and channel members. Oh, it's done it again, look at that. Oh, it flipped round when I wasn't looking. This is a stream for patrons and channel members, so it's ad-free and unsupported. As patrons and channel members, there is absolutely no obligation on you at all to do anything like super chats and stuff like that, so don't worry about that. Oops. But if you're watching this and you're not a patron and a channel member, if you're watching this afterwards, then of course you can't do any kind of super chats or anything because there's no live chat. But if you want to, you can leave a tip. There should be a button underneath the video somewhere. I don't know if it says tip or something. I can't remember exactly what they call it now. It's basically a comment. I think it was a comment. Might be a tip, I'm not sure. Anyway, you can more than welcome to do that if you want to. It helps support the channel. Helps keep me in food and drink. Because it literally pays my wages and pays my bills. Puts food on my table, literally. So, feel free. Right, where's that the screw gone? I mean, if you're in the chat now, you want to do a super chat, you can feel free. Absolutely more than welcome. But you're already patrons and channel members. You already pay me enough. So you don't need to at all. But if you're watching this and you're not a patron or a member, do consider becoming one. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru to support me on Patreon, or you can just simply press the join button underneath any of my videos and become a channel member. Butt area is coming together. Check that both pieces move easily, but they remain in the position they are left in. No. They need to be tighter then, do they? I take them all out again, do I? This is going to get quite annoying. I need to tighten the screws, but I can't get to them. Oh, deepest of sighs. Okay, fine. I'll take them all out one by one. If you told me that when I was putting... Do you know, if it had said when it put the pins together, it said, tighten the screws tight enough that the pieces stay where they are but move freely, then I would have done that. Now I can't because it's... because I've taken them all apart again. Do you know? There's a time and a place, people in Fanhome. That's too tight, really. That might work. Don't tell me that when all the assembly steps are complete and I've got to take it all apart again. That's really annoying. Because common sense says to me it should be staying in a place, but I use common sense sometimes and it ends poorly for me, so I try not to. Right, should we try that again? Simpletons. Honestly, can't get the staff. You really can't get the staff. And it's gone loose again. Literally, I've just tightened it and it's gone loose already. What? How does that even work? What is this? I don't even. It's not the first time they've done this. They've told you something after you've done something and you have to go back and do it again. It's like there's a time and a place to do these things. That was neither the time nor the place to do that thing. It's like saying, how do I get to the police station? Right, if you go left here and then right and then turn right and then left, and then at the end of that road if you go right, okay, thanks, bye, and then say you'll be going the wrong way, but it's too late then because you've already set off. See what I mean? See what I mean? Time and a place, guys. This isn't going according to plan. Come on. Turning. Right, there we go. It's like me when I was filming something the other day. I did a step in a build and it didn't work out, so I had to take it apart again and correct it. Now when I made the video I actually edited it, so I built the thing, then I filmed some other bits, and then I had to go back and correct it. So what I did was, actually when I edited it, I took the bit where I redid it and cut that in earlier in the video when I was actually assembling the thing. So I assembled the thing and then said, now if you put this together and this happens, you need to do this bit first, and then I moved that forward. Because there'd be nothing worse than saying, assemble all this bit, brilliant, now 10 minutes later, by the way, you have to go back to that step earlier because if it messes up. Yeah, just timing's everything. I don't know. Right, so this needs to go in there like that, you see. That needs to fit on, whoa, needs to fit on there, that way, not the other way. That was weird. I shall have a look at chat in a second, peoples. If I could stop the shaky shakes today, it'd be good. It'd be great if I was painting chipping, but I'm not. Apologies for you getting in the back of my head, by the way, or the side of my head. Once I get going, I have no concept of anything where the camera is. So that's better, now it stays in place. Looks good. Butt plate in place. Butt plate secured. The only problem with this part work, when you look at it, there's no actual real crotch area. It's just the leg kind of stops, then you've got your hip. And it's like, I mean, you know, we've all got the bits. We all know what goes in there. Right, so there we go. That's that bit done. So we'll move on from issue 67. We'll have a swig of water. La 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 la. Moving to issue 68. I have a tip for you, says Panzer. Try reading the instructions all the way through before beginning construction. Such nonsense. such nonsense. I don't even. Fox, you're old now. You can do both meds and forgetfulness. Ho ho, haha. Yes, text laughter doesn't really work. I thought you'd broken the part, not just lost a screw. Okay, no, just ping the screw off. Oh god, there's more Rob Liefeld. Oh no, Jeff Loeb. David Finch. Okay. It looks a bit Rob Liefeld. I mean, look at this. Look at the artwork on that. It's terrible. It's just terrible. I mean, there's nothing good about that artwork. It's just, I don't know. It's just unpleasing to me. Pouches for a start. It's just nothing. No, I can't really put into words why I find it annoying. I just do. I just find it vastly annoying. Some of the best comic book. I mean, look at this. Look at his head. Look at his head. He's got no forehead. He just stops. Like, the whole top of his head is missing. What? What? Is he a lobotomite? Star Wars reference. Really? And the hot artist of Joe Madureira doing the artwork. He's not that hot if he just removes half of Captain America's head. It's like just... I'm sorry, but... It's like, if you've got a face, he's got at least that much head to go yet. That's how the skull works. You've got all that space there missing. Makes me laugh. Damn kids, get off my lawn. Right, so we have lots more annoying artwork. Things occurring. Now, in this issue, we have 3 parts and some screws. Okay, I think we're still doing the hips. It's like building a gunpla, this, isn't it? Thunderbolts, justice like lightning. Isn't this what the new movie's going to be about? I don't know. I don't know. Such a terrible artwork. See, I like this kind of, because that artwork's nice and clean and simple. It's not too fussy. It's not too silly. Nice clean lines, nice colouring. I could get with that artwork. It's just, you know. Yes. Right, so. Let's have a look. Audio is audible, visuals are visual. Ginger loves gloves don't match ginger hair. Call tech support. Focus is focused. This is supposed to be... I got these so that when I'm filming a video I can pretend it's Foxx, like Foxx doing the... Because, you know, his hands are that colour, see? So it was a good idea when I woke up at 7 in the morning one day with that idea in my head. And then I bought the gloves and I'm like, right, I've got orange gloves now. Excellent. 68 we want, which is this one. Cashier number 68, please! Some of the most pleasing comic book art. I'd say there's two examples of pleasing comic book that I love the most. One is an artist called Benoit Sokal, who died, I think, a couple of years ago. He drew many things, and if you ever played the video game Siberia, you'll know that name. But he created Canado, this little graphic novel series of an alcoholic duck detective. And apart from the first, I think one of the first ones of those looks like a gum shield. Apart from the first one, which is a bit scruffy, later editions, bande dessinée, as they call them, graphic novels that he did, were actually really beautifully drawn, and they were like a complex, scratchy style with lots of cross-hatching and texture. They were really well done. They were awesome. One of my big influences was like Blue Angel and some of those books. Shabby Dog Story, it was a bit more fussy, and he hadn't perfected his style at that point. And also, the official DC comic book version of the 1989 Batman movie had beautiful artwork in it, but you could tell they'd done a lot of things where they'd based it on stills from the film, because it looked like Jack Nicholson, it looked like Michael Keaton, it was beautifully drawn, and you're like, yeah, they've taken that from the still from the movie. And then on a few of the panels, they'd had to just make it up because they didn't have a still shot to work off, so they were kind of, yeah, it was a bit more comic book, but that was beautifully drawn, nice and clean and crisp with some cross-hatching and lots of fantastic colouring. If you ever get hold of it, I've got it somewhere in the house, it's falling apart now, but if you ever find it, the original comic book adaptation of the 1989 Batman movie, which came out in about 1989, the book, the comic, it's beautiful artwork, absolutely stunning artwork. Right, so we now have right hip plate. This is gunpla armour. This is the side armour now. So we have to do basically what we've done already, sort of. Wow. They really are stretching this out to like the number of magazines, aren't they? So, the right hip plate, let me come over there. Fixing the right support base inside the plate with a BP screw. So that goes. Now it doesn't say officially which way around. You can see it's not quite straight. It's got a camber to it, but I think it's meant to go that way based on the pictures. Oh no, it is straight. Okay, well I don't know. It's got a slight angle to it. I'm not sure which way around it's supposed to go. Or is it just straight? Yeah, it might be just straight. Right, BP screw. I've only got 2 screws to do in this one, so I can take them all out. BP screws, I have a section 4, so that's fine. Get out of the bag. Why don't I just cut it, Fox? Just cut it. That's, you've already got BP screws section. There we go. A bia pia. This is the bia bia sia. And that's an OP, which we've already got a bag for, which we put in there earlier on. So I'll put it in that bag. So this one I can cut. Open that bag ready. It's a bit like administration of filing, doing these part works. I do strongly recommend though, if you're doing a part work, for the love of dog, get yourself a little tidy. If you go on Amazon, they're like, I've got them in my Amazon store, but if you're looking around, they're like jewellery tidies and things like that. They're called jewellery tidy boxes. They are an absolute godsend because you will end up with like hundreds of extra screws and bits and bobs. And you probably end up with some really tiny parts that you want to keep safe. Like on my X-Wing, which I must finish at some point, there's all the clear bits that go in the end of the laser cannons. Well, they're just in a little tray in my tidy box. That goes in there, like that, you see. I never like it when you do a plastic bit and the screw goes in and then just keeps spinning and it's like, never quite like that. Now you take this piece here, and it's one of these again, isn't it? It needs to go in like that. I'm going to learn to hate OP screws, aren't I? Because they always seem to go into positions when there's this kind of fiddliness to do. Oh, then again, I don't know. It seems to be... Oh, it's actually quite cooperative. It's lining up quite nicely. Maybe. It's tricky to get into because there's a dirty great bit of armour in the way. How in the... How am I supposed to get a screwdriver in there when that... What? Get out of here. How am I supposed to get a screw in there and a screwdriver in there when it sticks out further than the actual armour plate? That's a bit weird. Okay, maybe. Okay, I'll give it to you. Just about. Don't let it happen again. Luckily it's quite a good fit though, otherwise I would have been struggling to get my finger in there to put it in place. And this is where I will need to change to one of the default screwdrivers. In this case it's from the Dodge, because my screwdriver is a bit too big and fat to get in that corner. Okay, that went well. Who wants to guess that issue 69 is going to be this for the other side? It's going to be this for the other side, isn't it? Yeah, you know it. You know it. Make sure it's tight so it stays in, not too tight, so it stays in place. Ooh. That doesn't sound good. Welcome to the tiny haunted house. Okay, so that's the entirety of issue 68. Fantastic. So you can get through these quite quickly. There's one advantage. It's not an advantage if you were... This is the thing, if you're doing this week on week, or, you know, month on month, you'd be like, well, I've done it all now in 20 minutes. But if you're doing it on a live stream, it's brilliant, because it's dead quick. Right, so issue 69. Ooh, burpularity. Stark Resilience starting over. Things, stuff. The bit we've got to do, which is, yes, as guessed, is the opposite of what we've just done. The Children's Crusade, a not so secret war. La 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 la. The funny thing is now, though, because I'm so used to the MCU, central leg support. Ooh, matron. I'm so used to the actors now that play the characters in the MCU that I can't look at the cartoon, the comic book characters, and see the. I look at them and think that's the wrong face. It doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. It doesn't look like, you know, whatever. It's really weird. But then again, you know, I've not grown up on the comic books, so. Right, BP, we can just slice that open. In fact, I've got the screw there, haven't I? It's here. The same screws, just pop that one out, put that in there. There you go. BP. Bia pia. Where's my knife? Zip. Yeah, I'm so used to the actual actors that if Tony Stark doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr., you know, if Captain America doesn't look like Johnny McActor person, whoever he is, I can't remember his name. If Nick Fury isn't what's his face actor McPerson, then it just doesn't seem to work. My brain's like, nah, that's not the right face. It's weird, isn't it? Okay, this is frustrating. Activate all the frustration. Come on. Open up. Open up. There you go. See? Isn't it better when you cooperate and do what you're told? I don't know. I've got to do two of them now, though. This can be sliced. I like to slice it, slice it. This is administration work now. I'm doing tidy up. Because I've got 3 OP screws. I'll keep them in the OP bag. These can go away. Go away now. I'm really hungry and I don't know what's for dinner, what I'll have for dinner. I might have me curry, I don't know. I won't have fish and chip like I'm going to make for Mama Foxx, because that doesn't excite me at all. I could order a takeaway, but that's a bit cruel. If I'm not letting Mama Foxx have a takeaway. Bit harsh, isn't it? There you go, Mama Foxx. You have your fish and chip that I've made for you. Nice and healthy. I'm going to have a big dirty kebab. She'd be like, thanks for that. Git. I'm not sure if she's gone for a snooze, actually. She might not have done. I said to her, it'd be really great if you didn't go for a snooze, and she didn't complain. I suspect she probably has gone for a snooze, but, you know, hey. Can't really complain. She's 83. So this one, I'd probably get the instructions out. Would be good, wouldn't it? Yes, it needs to be this way around. And it needs to be... Did I do that the right way around? On that one? Yes. It needs to be that way. Yes. Right, so, and it's a tight enough fit that you can line up the holes and just leave it there. See, that's how you do it. That's how you do this thing. And it falls off the end of the screwdriver because it's not that magnetic. Gosh darn it. Meh. Let's go for a big girl screwdriver. Just quite tricky when it's a long screw. I always have trouble with a long screw. Never mind, moving on. I'll have a look at chat in a minute. Don't forget, folks, do give me stuff to talk about. Because I don't really want to sit here and talk about this part work for 3 hours. And what I'm doing, because you can see what I'm doing. The whole point of the stream is really that I'm just doing this anyway, and we're just kind of hanging out and having a bit of a breeze and a laugh while I'm doing it. Don't forget, of course, this stream is live to patrons and channel members. So if you're a patron or a channel member, this is a big way for me to say thank you for your continued support. Please don't share the link. Sorry I can't stay. It's 7 o'clock and I have to go do stuff. Have a great evening, everyone. See you all later on the Friday Frolic. Ciao. Thank you for coming in, Paul. Take care. Panzer's also got to bounce and get ready for work. Take care on. Catch some of you during the Frolic. Let that teach you a lesson about waking up with a good idea, yes. Topic for discussion: 1 to 3rd scale Iron Man. Accurate scale figure to show off your mates or a grown man's big doll. Discuss. Yes, pretty much. All of the above. It's all of the above. That's that one. That concludes that issue. Wow, we are sketching things out a bit, aren't we? Issue 70. See, Thanos looks so stupid. He looks so stupid. He looks great in the movies, but he looks so stupid in the comic books. It looks so dumb. Right. Searching for Infinity Stones. We're getting to the MCU bit here. Movie stuff, jolly good. He looks like... That guy looks like a Tao. A Tao, if you know what I mean. Movie stuff. And there we go. Now, let's crack on. So what do we have to do today? Now, we get some big bits in this issue. This is issue... Which one is it? Oh, it's that one with the big bit. Issue 70. We get this thing. I didn't think I was getting the base. So I'm not sure if, like... Because I know the premium members get, like, a big honking base. So I'm not sure if I've got the premium version I'm getting the base, or if there's 2 different bases. A simple one for regular subscribers like this, and then one that does light up and stuff for premium subscribers. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Or whether everybody gets just this same base, I don't know. So, it's kind of cool. It's very big. C'est une part de grande énorme, as the French wouldn't say. I'm still here, says Rabbit. Posterior Maximus. Yes, you're not a Posterior Maximus. I like bit. Never mind, moving on. Oh yeah, bit of butt action going on there. Let's get these bits out carefully and not scrape and scratch them, and also not lose the springs, tiny little springs, which are going to vex me if I lose them. Looks quite good. Yeah, so I don't know if there's like a spanky base for top tier subscribers and a basic base for not top tier subscribers. I don't know, actually. I'd look it up, but that resolves effort, and, you know. Thank you for still being here, James. Retro Rabbit. And yes, thank you for your very kind offer the other day. I really do appreciate that. It's very welcome. I won't take you up on it, obviously, because I've got a spare camera that I'm using now. It's just I'm grumping about the fact I can't use the original software. But I'll adapt. I will adapt and overcome. Right, let's see what screws we've got. LP. Yep, which we don't need the bag for. And we've got OP again. Oh, do you know? Again with the OP. I'll open this bag again now. Except, oh, it's QP. I'll take it back. QP we don't have. We never had before. Okay, so we'll keep them open. Keep them intact. So, get the screw bag open. Screw bag! This one we can just cut because we've got a slot for those. Rear centre armour. It's butt. It's butt times. Hard butt. Base. Save the base piece for assembly in future issues. There we go. Right, so assembly of the rear centre armour. Just say butt. We all know it's the butt. Just stop pretending it's not. Right, so Take 70B. I've got to plug his... Place the button which anchors the legs. I don't think I've got a button in my butt that anchors my legs, but you never know. I could have. Place the 2 springs onto the pegs. I hope this isn't one of those things where he says, right, put these springs on, then put it away for a future issue, because that was annoying when they did that. Put these 3 bits of the arm together, then just leave them looping around. Right. Take this. Where is this? There's this. And this locks... And this is like building the Gunpla, isn't it? This slides in like this. That goes into there. Take the central leg support assembly from issue 65 and fit the rear central armour upper tab of the joint circled slots inside 70A. Cool. I quite like this. So that goes in there. Pushes down on die Springen gefahren. How far down does it go? Okay, I need to make sure that spring goes onto that peg, because it's catching. Nope, that's missed. Right, you need to go there. There's a peg on this piece that spring has to go onto, and it's quite tricky to get it to line up, but we'll get there. Go on, in you go. Ooh, it tasks me, and I shall have it. Chase it round, perdition's flames. Oh, this is quite tricky. Come on. I know you can't see it, but I've got to line up that spring with that little tab on this bit. There we go, it's in. There we go. Huge success, I think. It's not a very tight fit, but I'm sure those other bits will make it all fit together. So that now is a springy button. Very springy button. He's got a springy button where all the paint's going to come off that. You can see that coming a mile away, can't you? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Join the 65A assembly to 70A with a QP screw as shown. That was almost musical. QP screw as shown. Wait, what? Oh, I see. So, where's my QPs? Quepe. A quepesquo. Quepe. Queepy. QOA. It needs to go... Well, only one hole on one side, so it goes in that hole there. I see it. Ah. There's a tab that the screw goes through. There we go. And that pushes these two halves together. Awesome. Lovely. That's rather lovely, that. I like that. Some good engineering on this partwork. That's lovely. Got a pushy button. Pushy bum button. I dread to think what actually happens with that. Oh, I see. You push this button in here, and that little thing there vaguely moves. Vaguely. It's a very tight button. Very tight mechanism. I can see all the... I can see no reason at all for that. I think it's... I guess it's so you can have the legs and you can lock them in different positions like you can on some Gunpla. You can have the hips locked in here or down there so you can do different poses. That would make sense. I'm guessing now. So we've done the quay screw. Right. So we need these two. Find the assemblies from issue 67. Insert the posts on 68C right and 69C left into the holes in 78 as shown in the image. So 68C is right. 69C is left. C'est là. And these will require... What screws do I need to get ready? Two LP screws. We can get the LPs out. Right, so these need to go in. No, how do these go in? Like... Oh, we need this thing as well. Aha! So these go in like... Who did what now? How is this? So these go in like... In like Flynn. Confused.com. Like that. That goes in there. Thusly, very loosely. Loosely goosely. Is this the right way around? I'm not convinced. It says R on it. That one says L. Ah, well. So the post on the right, fix the assembled shelf issue on the front of 70. Okay, so right, so that goes on there. We're gonna have to be holding things again, aren't we? That goes on there, and then this somehow miraculously goes somewhere. That's really quite tricky to get them to stay in place or where they are. This goes like it's not my counter. That goes on like I've now got to line up all these pegs and holes somehow and hope nothing breaks. Such fun. This is a lot more trickier than you gave credit for. Especially when I can't actually see where the holes are that these things go into. Let's take these things out. Right, that goes on there, like that. How does this actually go together? How does this actually go together? Okay, like that. Alright, so I can slide these in actually. Making a big butt. Not of myself, I mean just making a big butt in general. That's left, that's left. So it's there. So I can slide that in. Where? I say in there like that. Herein, Baljet Heed. Swine that you are. Right, so that goes on. Wait, what? That literally doesn't line up with anything. It just sits and thinks. Okay, well that sort of makes sense. That makes it a little easier, I think. Maybe not. That goes in. Oh, I see. Right. Okay, that goes in there. That goes in there. It does go in another hole. Yes, it goes in that other hole there. There we go. You can go in there. Okay, that's a bit easier to do it that way. Trying to keep these things in place while you're trying to manoeuvre everything is not really going to happen, is it? That needs to go in there like that. There we go. And we can push it all down. Pushing. Oh, minimal pushing required. It just fits into place. Okay. So now we have the armour. Which is a bit shonky. But I'm sure once it's all locked in place and properly done, it'll look rather spankular. Count spankular. Right, so that's in, that's in. Okay. So, then it says to screw these in place with 2 Quay screws, 2 LPs and 2 QPs. So there's 2 LPs there into the butt area. These might go in quite a way, so I'll use the thin screwdriver. It's got to go into a tunnel. Yes, I never get my screwdriver in there. So I'm not going to do these too tight, because if I do one too tight, then I risk snapping the other. So I'll do one then the other, and then we'll tighten them both up together. So that's first one's in loose, this one going in loose. Bit tighter. If you've got like a left and a right screwing out a scenario like this and you're doing plastic and stuff, just never put one in full tightness all the way straight off the bat. Always do them a little bit at a time and balance it out. That way you're not stressing any plastic and you're not making any difficulties for yourself getting the screws in. basically, if you've got like a piece of something here and you put one screw in here, it could bend it that way. So when you put the screw in this side, it's got further to go and you've got to stress it back again. If you do it at the same time, you can just gently wiggle things together. Wiggle, wiggle. And we want a quay screw to go into... where? Into there, you see? Ah, excellent. Quay. That can go into here if I can get it on the screwdriver. That goes into... It's quite a simple build. They're quite a nice design and way it goes together. I quite like this. It's not too complicated. And it works quite nicely. Now these are a bit loose and floppy, but that's down to the... That's not down to my screwing action. Not down to my hot screwing action. That's down to the fact they're just loose anyway. Lovely. Look at that colour there. That is such a nice colour. It's beautiful. Reminds me of a kids programme. Now I don't know what this was. It wasn't the Herbs. It wasn't Parsley the Lion. But there was a kids programme. Oh, hang on. Check the hinge pieces on the hips and trunk and move easily. Those move easily. Those move easily. Yes, there we go. Lovely. It's a gorgeous piece of kit, that. Yeah, there was a kids programme, right, and it had a lion. I'm pretty sure it was a lion. It could have been a tiger. It wasn't the Herbs. It wasn't Parsley the Lion. But there was something. And have I got a QP already? NP. I'll put these here because I've already got these. NP, QP. There we go. It was like a lion and it had a nose, like a red nose. But the nose, it looked like a blob of jam. It was like a teardrop shaped, blood angel shaped blob of jam. It was shiny. It was like that. And it reminds me of that. But I can't remember what kids programme that was in the 70s. It wasn't the Herbs. Because Parsley didn't have... Parsley had a green nose. Parsley the Lion. I'm Parsley the Lion. He had a green nose. Because of course he did. It was Parsley. Right, so that's that one. That is issue 70 done. I think we'll have these finished, you know. 4 more issues. Shall we just get on and do it? We've got 45 minutes. Looks like Cassian Andor. Anybody watching Andor, by the way? I think it's quite good. LP screw, that goes in there. There you go. Right, issue 71. Let's get the bits out for these 4. We'll get these 4 done. It clears up a space on my shelf then. Oh Christ, some of these are really big. I'm going to regret this. On 71. Yeah. I might regret this decision. We might be here till 9 o'clock. I'm there thinking, how hard can it be? Yeah. It's a good job I recently upgraded my storage option for this partwork to a big plastic storage box from a small box. Because these parts are getting real big. I'm getting all these bits lying around. It's getting a bit demanding for real estate. More sproingles, it says Rabbit. Posterior maximus. I'm always scared of pulling these things apart too violently because... can you guess what that is? I think we can, can't you? Because you pull it apart too vigorously and all the little loose springs fly out and you've lost them all then. You've lost them forever. I have no idea what we're doing here. Let us find out with doing. It's some sort of internal shenanigans. I guess it's going to be hip type joints. Well, there's 2 ball joints. I think we're going to have... I think that might be his beepis area. I think. I could be... Oh, hello. I could be wrong. Put them 2 separately so we know they're separate. He might be working on his BPIS. I don't know. Or lack of. It does seem to be quite insubstantial, let me just say that. Right, so these are LP screws, of which we have many millions, so I can just cut that open. Lipper. Right, let's see what happens now, shall we? 3 of you watching. I'm sure there's not 3 of you in chat. Industrial Revolution. It's a second story arc from Iron Man Legacy, off another key moment in the Armored Avengers' long career when Tony Stark was going through a very rough period. Yes, I will actually read some of these comics at some point. And we get to make the base. How low can you go? Doctor Strange, Master of the Mystic Arts. Yes. I realised the other day, you know, a few weeks ago, I actually had the first issue of Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first ever issue, where he's revealed and they're making life model copies of him. I had, because I was looking at something, and I saw it online, and I was like, oh, I remember reading that when I was a kid. I remember this exact artwork. So I actually had that. Probably not worth much nowadays, really, but you never know. Right, so, in this issue, the assembly of the central leg support continues. Central leg support. Right. Assembly of the ball joints for the hips. Take the bearing ring for the left hip joint, 33D, marked with an L inside. 33D. Is this going back in time to a previous issue from like 100 years ago? That's got an R on it. Okay, so it doesn't actually tell you that you have to go and get this bit from a previous build. Now this wants the L on it, but that means it's the left leg. This is for the R, for the right leg. So that means I've got to go and get my left leg out. You pardon the expression. Hang on. It doesn't actually tell you that. It doesn't say from issue whatever. That's a bit bad. Because it's like issue 30 odd. And that's months ago. Now I've got to get all this nonsense out. Gubbins. It could be in any of these. Could be anywhere. I thought we'd finish this leg. It's not in there. I keep them all wrapped in tissue paper just so they're safe and not going to get damaged. I'm hoping it's in here, because if not, I'm a bit knackered, aren't I? Right, there we go. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? There we go. Lovely. That's the bit there. That was lucky that I just remembered that. Didn't actually tell you from a previous issue. Yeah, I'll put that back in there. And we probably need that, but I'll stick them all back in here anyway. Oh, that needs to go back in there as well. Yes. Yeah, I like to keep them all wrapped up in tissue just because I don't want stuff getting scratched. I mean, once I finish building this, I am tempted to give it a weathering stage and make him all scuffed and scratched up, like he's been in combat and stuff. I am tempted to do that, but I don't know yet. I don't know that for sure. Because I've got a couple of little scratches here and there where I've dinged the paint a little bit, just tiny little scratches. So, right, so we need this bit that you didn't tell me was from issue 33. The bearing for the left hip joint, that marked with an L inside. Yes. Put one of the ball joints through the ring, got a ball joint. Central leg support, which is that one. Central leg support. FNAR, beepis. Right, so it says put this like that. That way. Here. Oh, Fox, that way, Fox. There you go. That's better. Put the big thing through the small hole. Then it says to do. That goes on there, like there you go. It's nice and easy. That goes in there like that. And you want 2 LP screws. Okay, that was straightforward. Lipper. LP screw. I'm gonna guess you've got to do 2 of these. That go on there. Okay, so I will need the other one because I'll have to do the right leg. That goes on there. That's really annoying. They didn't say anything about using the previous, unless it says somewhere. It might say in the. Let's have a double check. Because if it doesn't, I wonder how many people have got completely confused by that and be like, "What? I haven't got that bit. What?" One of the people in customer service have got sick of having emails saying, "Hi, I need this piece, but it's not included," and it's like, "Yeah, it's with issue 33, mate." And somebody's there getting their ass kicked in HR because they've in the design team. The technical document writer because he forgot to put it in the instructions. I'll make sure these are nice and tight, but not again too tight. You don't want to damage any plastic. So that's there. I will double check. Doesn't show them on here. Collector's item for intended for display. This Iron Man model is not a toy. Take the bearing, blah, 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 let it mark within the side. Yeah, it doesn't say from the previous issue. Let's see if it's something in the front. Sometimes it says something in the front. At the very start. If I can find the very front. There we go. No, sometimes they have a little thing in some part where saying, hey, in this issue we'll be doing this, this and this, but no. So that's a bit slack there. That's a bit lacking, that. Naughty, naughty. Only good that I just happened to have that piece there and remember what it looked like. Because if this was anybody else, this would have been put in a box like 6 months ago. Why have I got all that stuff coming up? There we go. Anybody with me? What have we got? 3 of you watching. Are you still with me, folks? Repeat the process on the other side with the bearing ring for the right hip joint. It's the same thing again. Central leg support. That almost sounds rude. It's rude, that is. So that goes like that. And that goes on there like that, you see, yes. Like that, that's great. Got 2 of those screws. That's not really good, is it, Fox? You've done a really bad job there. What are you doing? Sort it out, mate. Sort it out. There we go. Yeah, don't forget I'll be on with Festa tonight at midnight. Assuming his stream's going on. I think it is. I've not spoken to him yet today, so I assume we're still on. That'll be on Festa 67's workshop channel. We'll be painting our... I think it's a Dodge Charger then. Or Orc Stomper. I nearly said Dodge Charger. That would have been stupid, wouldn't it? Make sure these are in nice and tighty. Nighty-tighty. There we go. Kaplunk. Mousetrap. Ooh, now we get to build the base. How low can you go? The base and gefahrten? I guess it's right that you get to do the base now because at some point you're going to have all the legs built, aren't you? So you need to kind of have something to put it on. A bit dark. Are we looking a bit dark, folks? Do I need to... Oh, yeah, we're looking very dark. Let me... Oh, look, the settings have changed again. Probably. Or not. I don't know. Are we looking all right? I expect we're looking all right, aren't we? Not that bad. Colour's a bit weird. No, man. Are we in focus? I hope we are. Yeah, I think we're in focus. Is it looking acceptable to you, good people? That's the most important thing. Anyway, right, so we've got these 2 parts. Let's read the instructions. La la la. Support base, 2 plates, 4 connectors clear, join base plate 71 and inside with 2 closes. Right, so even I can't get this bit wrong, surely. So Ein, zwei, drei, vier. Do 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 do. Right. Screw these bits together. Again, we'll loosely attach them to start with, and then we'll go around and tighten them all one by one. I don't need my lenses on for that. So yeah, I don't know if this is the only base you get, and I'm on, maybe they've subscribed me to the premium package, or if this is, everybody gets this base, or if this is the base you get for the standard package, but premium people get a better base with lighting and stuff. I don't know, I can't remember. La 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 la. What do you want me to talk about, folks? Any interesting conversations you want me to talk about or have? I'm spent. I will post up the first issue of the GT40 build in a bit, once I've finished here. Before midnight tonight, and after the stream is finished, after I have my dinner. And what I plan to do is, for that part work, for the first few packs, I'll just do it as a, filming job. I'll film it. And then eventually, probably what I'll do is do the same as we've done here, go to a live stream format, exclusive for patrons and members. I know I don't get, excuse me, I know I don't get a lot of you watching these live, because, excuse me, I depend on patrons and members actually seeing the notification on Patreon or on the channel members channel or somewhere else to be aware of it, because I can't put a, you won't get a notification on YouTube because it's all unlisted. So right, you're not going to see this because I'm just holding it up, but so you're not going to get a notification of this, so it's a bit weird. So it is always worth just keeping an eye on, set notifications on Patreon so you get an update when I post something. Same on Messenger. I mean on YouTube. I don't know how you do it on there, but it'll be on my community channel. If you go to my YouTube homepage and the community tab, I can set posts for members only. I don't actually know how it works, but make sure you've got notifications set for Patreon if you're a patron. Just email one. You don't have to have a live on your desktop thing, but just an email, so it sends you an email when I post up something. Right, so that's that. Ooh. It doesn't feel like it's going to hold a lot of weight. I mean, it's a bit, yeah. I'm guessing there's more to it because you've got some clippy bits there. It does say this is now almost ready. There must be something else that goes to give it more, because there's these bits here that look like the clamps of some sort, and I can't see that holding 5 or 6 kilograms easily without something else involved. I'm sure there will be. And they've got these pegs. What are these pegs for? That's a middle thing to hold it up. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, so I'll put that to one side. Jolly good. World's worst frisbee. That concludes issue 71. Dinner, says Rabbit. Go and eat your dinner, lad. Excuse me. Go and have your dinner. Issue 72. More comic stuff. Ooh, interesting. Although if you look at that, if that was real, that turbine would actually be going into half of his spine. So, yeah, not quite convincing. Oh, now. In this issue, the assembly of the central part of the Mark III armour begins. Ooh. We're building the entire body part. So we need to get rid of these springs, these screws. These were LPs. They go in there. Now, we need to make some space now because these are all big bits. These are all leg parts. I don't need these now. I assume I'm not going to be doing anything with the leg. Got to have fun trying to put all them away later on. We've got Thip over there. Oh, my bad. You've got little clips here. I forgot these little clips that go on here somehow, like that. Okay, right there. I forgot them. I didn't spot them. Excellent. So that gives it more stability. There we go. That's better. That's a bit more stable. I wonder what I forgot about them. I wonder what they're for. Right, so issue 72. Oh, it's heavy. Blimey. This is where Iron Man starts to get a bit weighty now, isn't it? Yeah, we'll put these over there. Got half an hour to go. Here's hoping there's no real complicated bits. Because I'd like to get all 3 packs out of the way. If I can. With the Dodge, I only got 2 of them done, so I don't want to get most of the way there. I want to get all 3 done so I can clear space on my shelf. Because my shelf's been just full of boxes, all the boxes of these waiting to be done. And it's a pain in the butt. Oh, wow, that's solid metal and it weighs a ton. Oof. That's impressive. Most impressive. Screws. Your screws you lose. A bit. Got some sticky bits. Probably friction stickers. Or blacklight stickers, perhaps. Light blocking stickers. That's for the arc reactor, I suspect. I'm going to guess this is part of the display base. Solid metal. Carefully, carefully. There you go. That's all the bits in there. You watch is like, what you watch me have to screw one bit to another bit now, and that's it for this issue. I'll be like, oh, come on now. Right. Arc reactor holder, reactor mast, base plate, adjustment stickers. So let's have a look and see. We've got some pins. Pins. They're not screws, they're pins. Right. Let's find out. Position the arc reactor holder inside the chest structure. This is so heavy. This is, I had toy cars that were, I had big massive metal toy cars that weren't that heavy. Right, inside the structure, so it needs to go, how does it need to go? Like, ooh, yeah, I like that. Dinner is served. It needs to go like that. So it sits on there like that. Fix it place with 2 EM screws. EM. Do we have EM screws? Yes, we have EM, so I can cut these open. EM screws. I should put the screws over there, really, shouldn't I? Because I'm not constantly putting my arm in the shop for you. Put my oil over there as well. There you go. EM screws. Except I can't see them now. Everything's rubbish. 2 EM screws. Can go over that. A little bit of oil because this is going into the metals. There we go. Okay, it's just box standard 3-in-1 oil. You don't have to do this, but I have seen many people. I've seen so many people say it's a good idea to do it that I felt it would be a good idea to do it. And I don't just mean for, I mean people doing all kinds of part works. I've seen so many people express the opinion that it's helped them greatly. That you can't really ignore the consensus, can you? I mean, the consensus can be wrong, but at the same time, you know what? I've moved that around. I don't know where it's supposed to go now. It's supposed to go there. There we go. 2 EM screws. And the basic issue is that you don't want to put too much on, because if you put too much on, you might get some hydraulic weirdness going on, but you want enough that if there is any sort of, if it's a tight fit, or there's primer or paint in the thread, it just eases the transition a bit. Makes you don't have to fight quite as much to get the screw into the chamber. There you go. And I didn't do it at first when I started doing my X-Wing, but after seeing a few people who were doing it and said it's a good idea, I tried it and suddenly found that it was a lot less work to get screws to go into metal. Right. Now it says, the arc reactor lights up by pressing a button on the back. which will be installed in a future issue. Insert the reactor mast 72C through the hole in the base plate so that it fits securely. Position the base plate on the arc reactor holder and secure it with 2 IP screws. So this goes through like that, and then that goes on there like that. Oh, I've seen it stick through like that, you see. So okay, so that sits on, so really, no, that was the wrong way around completely, because that will just fall off. The right way around is that way around. Right, okay, I get it. I'm understanding now. I'm not understanding. I don't understand anything. So it goes through there like that. Right. No, it doesn't go through there like... Oh, God damn it, Fox. What are you doing? Right. That goes on there like that. Ah! How is he doing this now? So it needs to sit through right like that. Okay, so that goes... That comes through there like that, you see. Now then. That goes on there like that. It sits on there like that. With 2 IP screws. IP freely. We've got IP. Yes, we've got IP screws. There we go. Open that up. 2 IP screws. It's weird actually. It's because it's kind of strange. Like, in terms of enjoying what I'm building, I enjoy the Dodge Charger much more because I'm building it's a goddamn muscle car and it looks awesome. And I have more of an emotional attachment to a Dodge Charger than I have to Iron Man. But in terms of, so that's in terms of enjoying what I'm building. But in terms of actually building, I'm finding the Iron Man much easier and much more pleasing. Okay, that doesn't actually stay in place then, does it? So why don't you just tell us to do this bit and then... That screw's not going in all the way. Let's try the other one. Don't like it when a screw doesn't fit all the way and just sits there floating, spinning around. Always makes me a little bit nervous. Let's try a different IP screw. Try the other one. Where's the other one? IP. Let's try that one. I have spare IP screws if needed. No, again, it's not really going in very firmly. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just seems to be floating freely a little bit, not stopping. So that goes in there, and then that goes in there, but there's no way to stop that just falling out. Position the plate correctly in the arc reactor holder and secure it with 2 IP screws. So that it fits securely. Well, it fits securely until you turn it over. Oh wait, what? No. Oh man, no, I've done it wrong. I've done it wrong. Now I understand. Damn you, your not very clear photographs. It's getting a bit ridiculous, this. Right. Now I understand. Right. Do you know? It's only like a bit later on you get a picture and you're like, oh, hang on, that's not exactly what the picture showed. Right, you're supposed to put that through there, and then that goes in there like that. Do you know? Probably why that screw didn't go all the way and fit properly, because it wasn't sticking up enough. But you only see that a bit later when you get the recap picture that shows you what you've done. I think, anyway, I'm guessing this is the right way to do it. I think it is. But now neither of these screws are locking in place. Never mind. It's a bit wibbly wobbly. So it basically goes like that, you see. So you go press, press, press. It's a bit... yeah. Is that right? Have I got that right now? Sort of. I think I have. Yeah, it's only later on here where you see it like that and you think, oh no, it's supposed to... just not clear in that at all, is it? Right, so... assembly of the support mat. I've got that bit done. I'm going to store that, I don't know. Three-dimensional testing. 3D telly. What is going on with the lag on this? The frame lag. I keep noticing some choppy frame action going on. What's that all about? Just noticed that. Hang on. Everything's making me unhappy. How's that working? I just noticed there's like some hitching in the frames there. That's at my end though, not at your end. Yeah. And now it looks like garbage. Awesome. Oh well. Right, so, where are we? So we've got that bit with the wiggly wiggly. 3D test. It's rude, that. Next step is this thing. Turn 72E inside 72F until the small holes in both pieces are aligned, and then insert the pins to join them. Tap them gently with a hammer. I don't have a hammer. If I had a hammer. So you put these two together, line up the holes, and stick some pins in it. I haven't got a hammer, but I've got a pair of pliers. Do. Really? We're not just screwing this? Seems weird. I'm not exactly convinced these holes line up exactly anyway. Okay, there's a little key and notch there, so it only goes around one way. I'm not convinced of the efficacy of this. But let's find out. Pins, you say, pins. I mean, once one's in, the other one should follow suit, but I'm not convinced. It's even lining up the holes correctly. They seem a bit out of whack. See, I'm seeing them and they're not looking perfectly lined up to me, but you never know. They might just go in perfectly. Oh yeah, that's alright. Be better if I had a hammer and not this pair of pliers, but because I'm scratching it. Let's put a bit of tissue over it. We can avoid scratching it, maybe. Nope. Let's get the other pin in. If I had a hammer, not the best time to get a tickly cough, thank you. I do have a hammer, it's just kind of downstairs in the tool area. Tool area. It's not exactly neat and tidy. Back, oh god, we're sticking out like a mile. can paint over that if I need to. What a very strange way of doing it rather than just having a screw. How very unusual. And I'm sure a rubber hammer wouldn't actually, a rubber mallet wouldn't work here because I'll have to tidy up a little bit. Strange way of doing it. Okay, so that's together. Pretty odd. Not exactly perfect, but it's just a support. Twill do. Twill suffice. Now, it says, assembly of the mast adjustment sticker on the lower end of support mast 2 to make it easier fit onto the base. And that needs to go on here. Only one of these is needed. Basically, I think it's to give it a bit more grip when it goes into the hole on the base. I guess. Just like a very thin layer of plastic. I don't know, I'm off camera. Just to make sure it's got some grip to it and friction, I guess. I mean, I've had to do things like this when I've done stuff like this. Like with the X-Wings, remember, the guns weren't quite fitting properly. So I just put the tiniest, thinnest sliver of Tamiya tape on it and it went into place and stopped moving around then. Okay, so that's on there. Trim it a little bit because it's kind of sticking out the edge. Oops. Just do that there. Trim that bit off there because it's just sticking out a bit over the edge. There we go. Yeah, I think it's either to give it a bit of grip or it's just to increase the width of it a microscopic amount, just so when it goes in the hole it doesn't wobble a bit. I've done similar things myself. There, and that's that, so I'll put that in there. If I had a hammer, I'd be a danger to myself and others. I'll put that in there. Bits. That is an EM screw. Excuse me. We can put that there. Right, let's see what the next one is. Getting there now. Should have them done hopefully soon, maybe. Two more to do, and then we'll call it a day. Hopefully these will be quick ones now, because we're getting towards the end of the day now, and I need to go and make dinner. And that. Right, so issue 73. Ooh, messy. I have days like that when my hair's like that and just doesn't want to do anything. Oh, this is going to be complicated. Or maybe not. Okay. So issue 73. Issue 73. It's issue 73. Well, we're getting some heavy duty equipment here. Oh, we've got screws and we've got more stickers. Okay, this may take a while. This may run a little after 8 o'clock, I think. Yeah, maybe a long run, this one. A bit, like 10 or 15 extra minutes, I think. Put the pliers away, don't need them now, I don't think. Howdy Fox and chat in the middle of a tropical storm. Left over Ian, says Edward. Hey Edward. Hello to you, my friend. Big hugs. Welcome, welcome. Please stay safe while you're at the tail end of that hurricane storm. Hope you've managed to get through it okay. Hope you've been in an area that's not been too badly affected. Big hugs regardless. I'm going to have so much crap to find somewhere to put. I was kind of hoping that we get this leg finished and then the other leg and put them on the hip and I just have a torso. I mean a lower torso. You know, hips and legs. But no, they've just given me more things to find places to store. It's like, oh, come on now. That's not how it works. Right, what we got? KM. KM. No, don't know what they are. IP. I'm sure we've got IP. Yeah, we've got IPs. And GMs. Got GMs? Yep, we've got GMs. Okay. Right, it's KM we don't know about. Let's get these opened. And one of them. Except that's IP, but never mind. Oh well. Right, so let's have a look and see. I like that. That's quite a spanky, isn't it? I like that. Some very good, well, apart from that little bit there, there's some very good, not masking. It's not really masking that they do, big strips there. Not masking, but it's like a stamp press type thing that they do. Right. Begin by placing element 73B onto the right breastplate. Breastplate. This is breast. Yes, please be safe. Hope you're doing alright in the storms there, buddy. Breastplate we have, so it's a kaplink kaplunk before every thunk. And kaplink kaplunk. I'm assuming that's the right way around. I'm just guessing completely. No, it's the wrong way around because it's that way around. Ah, I see. You're trying to assume you make an ass of you and me. That's how it works. Okay, right, so we need to screw those in place. So put them both on. IP screws. Actually, you can't put them both on because they'll just fall off again. So IP screws. Do one at a time. Going into plastic, so no oil needed. Do one loosely. And do another one loosely. Try and do it on camera as well, dear. Apologies for the picture quality. It's probably garbage. Dark and crispy. I don't know. I'm stuck with what camera I've got now. I don't think this mat, this towel actually helps much, but you know, hey. They work. It's better than a kick in the backside. Nobody wants a kick in the backside. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that wants a kick in the backside, but I don't want a kick in the backside. How you doing, Edward? Bench and belly as always, my friend. Tell us how you're getting on with the tropical storm Ian. Such an inoffensive name for a dangerous tropical storm or hurricane, whichever one you want to call it. Whatever level it's at now. They really need to give them more potent names. Because Ian just sounds like, I like peas. Just sounds like boring. Doesn't sound threatening at all. Yes. Everybody take cover. It's Tropical Storm Tiddlywinks. What? 2 more IP screws are required. We'll just put all the IP screws out, I think. There we go. Need most of these. So we take the collar piece. Is it a collar piece? Add the breastplate to the neck armour. Yes. Well, like that. Breastplate. Somehow. Come on, in you go. There you go. Right, and we want 2 more IP screws. Oh, it's a tricky one, this one. Again, only going into plastic, so I don't need to get any oil on them. Let's just get some screw on this screw thing. Screw thing, you know, screwdriver, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, this may not be such a long, drawn-out, complicated issue after all. And again, not doing them all the way, just loosely putting them in, then I'll tighten them up when they're both in. Yeah, make sure they're both tightened equally. It's all good so far, nothing like when I lived in Florida, sir. Well, where are you? Without giving too much information away. I take it you're on the East Coast somewhere. I like this. I like the black against the red. That's really nice. It's a really nice combination, that. Again, why is everything's looking so choppy? I don't know. I do apologise. I do apologise why this is looking so like choppy all the time. Like it goes every time I look at it. It's chopping. Do tell me if you're getting that, like frame skipping and stuff, because I need to know. That's really nice looking. Looks like I'm on like 15 frames a second or something. Get rid of that. Next, assemble the combined breastplate and neck armor piece to the front chest. First, slot into position on the chest. Which goes there. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. 2 IP screws on the inside of the chest. Most excellent. This is looking rather spanky now. See, it looked good when we built the head, and after that it was just arms and legs, and it was kind of like, eh. Now we're getting the chest and the torso. It's like, okay, now it looks like a big meaty bloke. Because you're doing legs and chest. It's like, yeah, I'm bored of legs and chest. I mean legs and arms. You know what I mean. Gloves and boots and boots and gloves and gloves and boots. And that one is not fully tight. There you go. Tightening, tightening. Set for maximum tightness. Oh yeah. Starting to look a bit mint now, that, isn't it? Oh yes. Oh yes. Don't bend that thing. Assembly of the base bracket. Oh, there's a base bracket. Ah. Okay, this might be slightly involved. Put that over there. So we take 73E. We have some sticky bits. Take one of the adhesive strips, remove the protective paper, place it on the inside edge of support bracket. It goes in there. There's a little recessed area, quite handily. Tweezers will be good. Looks quite satisfying. On the inside edge. So, there. Maybe. It's quite tricky to do when you've got gloves on, because everything wants to stick to your gloves, funnily enough. Like that, you see. Can be a bit of a challenge. And thankfully it's just the base, not the actual figure, so that goes in. These are going to be like grippy things, aren't they? That's what this is for. These are like grabby hand things, like calipers. Except what it says there about peeling the paper off and stuff, that doesn't actually match what this is, because it's just literally a plastic foam strip on a piece of paper. So that didn't match that at all. Repeat the process with support bracket 2, which is that way around. Yeah, this suggests you've got like a strip with the backing paper on the back, but it's not. It's just that. So, oh well. This goes on there. Oh, not both of them. That one's a spare. Driving me spare. This goes on here. So again, we'll try and line it up as best we can. And no doubt fell miserably. I've got that song from Cyberpunk in my head. You know, the one, the Pompon She one. Pompon She. I can't say the title of it because it includes a swear word. But, so I'm deliberately mispronouncing it. But it's so adorable and absolutely catchy. And that's so poorly lined up. And also, it's way too long. Bit long, that. Might have to trim that a little bit, I think. There are my scissors of trimmings. little bit. There you go. Perfect. Spot on. I guess this is going to be like a clampy device of some sort. I'm not quite sure yet. I can't get that off my hand. Right, so assemble the support bracket. Put the spring 73G. I like that. That's kind of handy. Inside the hole on support bracket 2. Wait, this is support bracket 2. So it goes in. What? Wait, what? 73F. So it's that one. So it goes. There. Position the support bracket with the hole facing downwards. I need a GM screw. Hang on. Let me prepare my screwing. GM screw there, ready? Gentlemen, prepare your screws. Khajiit has the red screw ready to go. So this goes on like that. Cool. Ah, I get it. And then GM screw. Ah. How very deceptively. Oh, metal. Oil. Tiniest amount. Don't know why they couldn't just give you a screw on that support rod though. Silly little metal pin. That seems a bit silly. Now. Ah! Badoing, badoing, badoing. Ah! It's quite nice. Tightness is always preferred. So it should look like that. Attach the support bracket to the mast of the base. Where did I put that mast? It's a support bracket to the mast of the base. What? It doesn't say which holes to use. It goes in like that, but where does it go? 1, 2. It shows it in the 3rd and 4th hole. I assume you can adjust it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That goes in there like that. The mast has various holes to regulate the height of the bracket. Brilliant. Well, why don't you just tell us which ones you want us to put it in then, rather than us trying to figure it out? That'd be a bit better, wouldn't it? Have I got a KM? No. So I don't want to go through all this and then suddenly I find I've got to take it all apart again because it's not tall enough or fat enough or wide enough or something. I don't know. We're nearly there, folks. One more issue after this. One more issue. And then there'll be other issues. There's always issues. So it's metal screws going into metal, so a touch of the oils. Oils and unguents. I'll get one in, then I'll do the other. Then we'll do them both together. There's one. It's like some kind of piece of lab equipment. It's rather spectacular. I feel like I should be making some sort of large Jacob's ladder device or something with lots of fluids and bubbling... Not bubbling arse, bubbling things in it that makes a bubbling noise. Full of brightly coloured chemicals and things. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Right, I'm doing this off camera, I know, but I'm just screwing this in. It's so much easier when you've got a ratchet screwdriver or a screwdriver with a grip and a twirly bit. Pum pushy, pum pushy, pum pushy. Bum 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 bum. There we go. It's like some sort of laboratory gravity device. I like that. I like that. So that would then sit in the base. I'm not going to put it in now, but that would sit in the base. And you know you can't see it. It sits in the base, and this will grab the figure somewhere. The work base is now ready. Oh, I see. When it says work base, so oh god, look at the artwork on that. I mean, look at it. Oh, what? Like, that doesn't look like a human being. That's Rob Liefeld. That has got to be Rob Liefeld. Yeah, it is. Look. Told you. Let me zoom in. The moment you see really crap artwork, you know it's Rob Liefeld. See if I can get it on camera. Doesn't even anymore. Yeah, the moment you see really dumb artwork with kind of really people who've got no lips and tiny little mouths and yeah, tiny little noses. God, I hate his art style so much. And all the veins in the world and hundreds of muscles in the arm that don't actually exist. And he's got like 1 million pectoral muscles. And they've used that font as well, and dear me. Yeah, you know it's Rob Liefeld. I mean, look at her arm there. Her arm goes there and then just stops. It's not how arms work, Rob. I can't stand his style at all. I don't know why people keep paying him. Anyway, never mind all that. Right, so that's that bit. So it says work stand. So I think now I understand this base that I've just made. It's not a display base at all. I think this is so that you have the figure stood up while you're working on it. I don't think this is like you get a one base if you're not premium and one base if you don't. I think this is what you get to finish building it. And then it doubles as a display base as well, which is kind of nice. So I think everybody gets this. Cool. So it's a work base. You put it on this so he can stand up. Once you've got the legs and stuff on, you can work on the rest of him. Right, I'll put that to one side. We've got one issue left. That's really heavy. One issue left, and then we'll call it a night. So we've got a KM screw that goes in there. Of course, I don't know what KM screws are. Got a GM screw, which goes there. Got two IP screws that go in there. Yeah, so that's cool now. I understand why we got that base. Going to be spag bowl, then bench a resin cat on a scooter. Oh, it's that one. Cool. North Carolina. I know somebody else that lives in North Carolina. Also repainting plastic pumpkins in the garage for the wife. No mouth peoples. Yeah, it's probably just... There's a blog. I can't remember who wrote it. It's about 10 or 12 years old now. There was a blog entry. A blog written. It's like some graphic designer. And he wrote this blog post once. And it was a good like multi-page post. And it was basically looking at, as a hard-working professional graphic designer and artist, he was looking at the work of Rob Liefeld and basically tearing it to shreds and saying why Rob Liefeld's artwork is so crap. And he was unhappy as a graphic designer and artist, a professional one. He's always unhappy about any kind of like bad design and graphic artwork, because it means people are getting paid for doing poor, shoddy work. You know. And I couldn't agree more. But he also makes it a hilarious blog. I can't remember what it's called or who he was. It was written years and years ago. You'll have to have a look for it on Google. But there is a blog post out there, and it's quite funny. And it literally catalogues all the things wrong with Rob Liefeld. Now, in one way, you can't knock him because he came up with Deadpool, and you know what I mean? But at the same time, oh God, I just can't look at his artwork without being triggered into anger and frustration and swearing. It's like, you know that drunken old bloke in the pub that sings karaoke and sings Nothing Compares to You for 15 minutes and everybody hates him completely because he can't actually sing? Imagine that, but he's got a recording contract and he's a millionaire. Yeah, it's like that. That's what it's like to an artist, to us artists. Yeah. That's what it's like. Right, so in this one, we have breastplate. Oh, look at that. Breastplate mechanism. Ooh, yes. Don't think there'll be much to do in this one. Prepare the assembled chest pieces from the previous issue. It's looking so good, that. I love the way step one is just to prepare them. You're taking the mickey now a bit. Place the breastplate mechanism onto the previously assembled chest pieces. It's looking mighty fine, this. Where's all? Ooh, look at that. This is where like plastic and metal come together and actually look really damn good when they fit together. Hang on. Technical difficulties. Always with the technical difficulties. Go on, in the hole. Get in the hole. Can't even see the hole. Gosh darn it. I need a spudger. Where's my spudgers? Oh, I've not got a plastic spudger. Oh, I have to carefully use a metal spudger. Oh, okay. I can take that risk. I think I can take that risk. I'm not happy about taking that risk. Off you come. Or in you go. One of the two. Choose. There we go. There we go. It's in. It's not. It's in. There we go. Ah, yes. It's never coming out again, ever, that. So, yeah. I don't even think you need to put screws in that, really. It's never coming out again. Look at that. Yeah, sometimes just metal and plastic just kind of work really nicely together. We need to secure that in place with 4 IP screws. And we need to put them there, 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 and there. Excellent. And then we'll be done. What time are we on? Ooh, 8:15. So I'm only 15 minutes over. Mama Fox has an extra 15 minutes snooze. Cowbag. I'm trying to get to be more independent, so I say to her, right, I'm going up to do my live stream. Don't go for a snooze, because you'll get 3 hours, and that's bad for you because you're not drinking any fluids. Make yourself some cups of tea. I've put like the little tea bag squeezers out for her because she can't really squeeze the tea bag with the shakes. So I put the tea bag squeezers out for her especially, and I get all the stuff ready. So make yourself lots of cups of tea. The moment I come up here and start streaming, she just goes to bed. Goes for a snooze. I'm like, oh, it's not how this is supposed to work. Never mind. She's a terror, and she knows it. Yeah, so see if you can find that blog about why Rob Liefeld's artwork is so bad. I mean, as I say, you can't knock him because he's successful, but at the same time, being successful doesn't make you immune from criticism when you're shonky at your product. It's one of them things. It makes me angry when I see it. Right, so that's that done. IP screw, got that. Assembly of the chest is making good progress, ready to be completed in future issues. That's it. So, that is now the final issue, 74, which means I can now rest easy for 2 or 3 more months and put this all away again. That looks really good, that does. Put this all away again. And next time we come back, we'll have another 2 or 3 packs to do. Oh, burpage. I've now got to go and tidy all these things away and put them in bits of tissue and wrapping and make sure they don't get scratched. But that's going to do us. Let me just double check that there. Let's put that on there and we'll close that and we'll put that there. Yep, so that's going to do us there. So thank you everyone who's been watching. I know I don't get a lot of people watching these when they're live for patrons. I think it's a lot of people don't realise they're live. So make sure you all got notifications set for Patreon or for the community channel on the YouTube page. Because that's the only way you're going to get notifications, or I'll put links on the Facebook and stuff like that. But make sure you get feedback and updates for those. But again, thank you to my patrons and channel members for doing what you do, for literally supporting me each month. You literally put food... I mean, I can't say it enough. You literally pay my bills, put food on my table, allow me to have lights and cameras and things like that. You literally make all this. Without you guys, I've got no income. And that's it, channel's dead at that point. So without you guys, there's nothing I could do. So big thank you to you. I love you all dearly. Don't forget, of course, if you're watching this not live and you want to be able to watch things like this live, all my partworks now are going to be live streamed exclusively for patrons and channel members, and then archived for everyone else later. Apart from the GT40, which will be for a while, will be just recorded. If you want to be able to watch these things live, do become a patron or a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/modelmakingguru. Or you can press the join button underneath any of my videos and become a member. You'll get loads of access to content like this, free stuff. You also get access to the live 24/7 Zoom Hangout as well. And you get access to these things ad-free. And there will be other exclusive builds and video things that come up in the future for patrons and channel members. So stay tuned for those. I will be back tonight at midnight, GMT, with my very good friend Colin from Festa 67's workshop. I don't like that putting on there. I want to bend that thing. My very good friend Colin from Festa 67's workshop. Who will be doing our Orc Stompers at midnight tonight on his channel for the Friday frolic. I think, as far as I know, we're doing that tonight. So stay tuned for that. I'll be back tomorrow with... I've finished this now, so I'll be back tomorrow with some Cyberpunk, I think. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. we'll play some Cyberpunk for 2 or 3 hours. And then on Sunday I'll be back with Warhammer Sunday, of course, with me and Colin work on the Warhammers, on the Lehman Russes. So thankfully everyone, thanks you to everyone who's been watching. Edward, take it easy, mate. Stay safe. Anybody watching who's out in the US who's been suffering with the hurricane / tropical storm / whatever, Ian, do stay safe. Stay indoors. I hope you're all right. I will see you all hopefully later on tonight, and then tomorrow afternoon for some cyberpunking. So until then, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. Oh, big thank you again to Fanhome for providing this partwork free of charge. They send it to me each month. They have no say in the content I make, but big thank you to them for sending it for me to do this. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Links to this partwork in the description below the video. Go be awesome. And until next time, adios, amigos!